Okay, we're just going to check one or two things, make sure it's one. Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening to you all. Citizen AY here. I wanted to sort of touch base with you all. But before we go ahead, I want you to help me share this broadcast as you're hearing it. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Good evening. Okay. Oh. Why is it I'm only hearing one side? Why am I only hearing one side? Can you hear me? Okay, that's fine. You can. Okay, I think you can hear me. So please do share this broadcast as you're coming in. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Citizen AY here. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. As you're coming in, please do share this broadcast. Let us reach more people. Let us build this up. I wanted to build a platform. Please subscribe to Citizen AY backup channel on YouTube. I'm going to put the link up and I'll put the phone number on as well so that people can call later on. So we're just going to wait for a few minutes to make sure that we get a few more people to join us. As you're coming in, please join us in this discussion. It's very, very important discussion. What we like to do on this platform is to really look at solutions. A lot of the times, discussion is around what is currently on ground. And I think we need to move the discussion along. The people need to understand that they possess the power to make the change. And that's what I'm really going to talk about this evening. And you can see the discussion there. I've really tried to put on really the key areas. And we will go and talk about that in due course. So let me just go here. So let me just put to here. Citizen AY on. So let's put it on here so you can see it. So bear with me. As you're coming in, please do join the broadcast and share. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do more, planned discussions like this. So let me put it on here. On 1 second, please. Just give us a minute. Then we will start proper. But I'm just giving a few minutes to join us. So yeah, bear with me. So okay. Now. Okay, so now we're going to pin that now. Now we've pinned that, and that's good. So now we're going to pin that also on one more platform. Then we can begin. So I'm going to try and just get that going. So do bear with me. So that is pinned now. So you can have that there as a please, if you haven't joined us on the Citizen AY backup channel, that's where we'll be doing more of the progress we're doing on YouTube. And of course, those of you on Facebook, please subscribe and share to people as you're coming in. Please do share. So now, whilst we're waiting, the topic is, it matters not who runs Eko or Lagos, Yoruba or Igbos. The key issue remains what constitution is being used to run you. The only way you can change the situation long term is through active participation in your governance to ultimately achieve Yoruba Nation. Remember, that's the goal. That is the goal. So before we go ahead, too far ahead, let's listen to this song that I wrote. Let's have, you know what you said.
My people, self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Na him put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Na military man come tell una say una get constitution. No be lie. Na lie, oh, na fake, na fraud, oh. That yeah constitution. Na him that they claim close to na eye, oh. Make una wake up, make una wake up, oh. How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination oh, na your right oh. My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination na your right oh. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people, for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey oh. Atiku, Emiloko, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Na the solution, na it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up, time don knack. Be Yoruba man, you be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination na your right you. How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La 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 oh.
Welcome to Citizen AY Live. You're watching Citizen AY Live. Good evening to you all as you're joining this broadcast. Please help us share the broadcast. I appreciate you, each and every one of you joining us. Let's just do a quick roll call of those who are joining us on the broadcast. Titi Lope Ajomali, I hope I'm right. Basi Ogbo, and also others. Rotimi Adetong, yes. It matters, Adetong Ekundayo. I am going to explain what I mean. Please, when I'm saying this, good evening and welcome to you all. Please subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY, the YouTube channel, Citizen AY backup channel, it's pinned on the screen. We really urge you to go ahead and do so. And the song that you listen to that song is called How Long Am I Gonna Suffer? It's a tune I wrote. It's a song I wrote. It's How Long Am I Gonna Suffer? You can download it on iTunes and Spotify and share it among friends and family if it resonates with you. It's deliberately sang in Pidgin English so I can reach a wider audience of people who are Yorubas, Igbos, and Middle Belt, because we all speak Pidgin English. Now for Pidgin, we do the song. And I be say make everybody feel understand within day for ground too. Olatunji Gift, good afternoon. That's why I sing the song for Pidgin, make everybody understand, say that place. So how long una go to suffer? The Nigeria na slave camp. Everybody we don't know say that na within the ground. We don't talk am before the election say within the for ground be say we be slave for our own nation. We no get right, we no get light, we no get water, we no get road, we no get schools, we no get bridges. We don't na so suffer now we dey suffer for that place. We don't become total suffer head. And time don't like we supposed to wake up. That's now why we write that song. So I greet all of you now. As they join, I beg me help me subscribe to Citizen AY backup channel. And now we don't pin them. Emmanuel Prince Milton. If you call in, I get the phone number. If you call in, but make I talk small first before we talk about whether or not the question. Make I just begin small. So now, matter weight of day for ground. They say we dey hear everybody talk about Lagos. They go collect Lagos. This one go collect now. That one go collect them. And if this one no be that one, I get waiting all of them they talk. Me, I understand. Me as a Yoruba man, of course, it make better sense. Make it be say na Yoruba man now go to run Lagos. I get all of that. Just like it would be better for Anambra, make a Igbo man they run Anambra. Now so it's supposed to be. But waiting there for ground now. That election, we don't see what happened for the last election. What happens inside election? What happened, Rotimi Adete Wekudayo. I am not saying, please just hear me out first. Of course, please. I that's what I want. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the system right now is deliberately engineering discourse. The system is the one behind this. Oh, it's Igbos. Oh, you need to understand the game. What happened in this election just a week ago? Was it the people who won the elections that are in president now? I want to know. The person who is the president now? Is the president now the person who won the elections? I just want to ask a question. Is the person who won the elections the person who they announced as the president? And if so, what evidence do you have to prove that the person that's the president now is the person who won the elections? What evidence do you have? I'm just asking a simple question. I'm not going to argue. So Rotimi, so you believe that Tinubu won the elections? Do you believe that Tinubu won the elections? So if Tinubu won the elections, can they please provide the beavers to support that assertion? If you're going to say Tinubu won, I'm just talking purely in practical things. So if we are going to say that Tinubu won the elections, then we need the beavers from every state to confirm that. Every single state must confirm that Tinubu won. So they need to we're not talking about the INEC written reports by the collectors, by the state collectors. No, we are talking about, please share this broadcast. We are talking about they must provide the beavers that support that fact, that they will say, that will show us in every beavers in every state. It should show us that Tinubu won in all the states. So if they don't provide that information to you, listen up. If they don't provide that information to you and they're telling you and they're insisting that you accept, and they're insisting that you accept that Tinubu won, is that not fraud? Whoever they choose, it doesn't matter for me, whether it's Peter Obi, whether it's Tinubu, whether it's Atiku. I've said it from the beginning. The problem is the issue we face is bigger than this election because they control the elections. That is what you need to understand. The fact that they can announce to us, INEC can announce a fraud in front of the whole world and tell us that somebody who did not win the elections won the elections. It's the same thing they said, Uzodinma, the man who came fourth became first. Same thing. What is the difference? I want somebody to explain that to me. What somebody, Prince Milton. Well, I have to be pragmatic about this, So this is what you need to understand. You are playing into their hands. I am saying again, it matters not who runs Eko, Yoruba or Igbo. I'm telling you, because if you go into this agreement and you believe that, because what they want you to do now, because they know that you decided who you wanted to win the election, and they tricked you. They are trying to trick you to forget about the presidency. They are trying to trick you to focus your energy not on what is happening with the presidency, so they can. Why is it that the presidency was announced at 3 o'clock at night? Why? I'm just asking a question. Look, I don't have I want Yoruba Nation. I want Yoruba Nation. And whoever the core president is fine. My goal remains Yoruba Nation. I want us to be very clear about that. But what I'm saying, of course, it's calculated, Emmanuel Prince Milton. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm hoping that by provoking this discussion, that our people can see that this is all a game. This is all a political game. And that is why I'm saying it doesn't matter who runs whatever. I'm not saying, please don't get me wrong, that's not the same thing as saying that a Yoruba man should not run Yoruba land. No. That's a different discussion. And an Igbo man should not run Igbo land. Different discussion. But what I'm saying, at this particular juncture, why is it that the people, they are stoking the flames? You know, exactly. Emmanuel Prince Milton, exactly. So you need to understand that as we speak, INEC is afraid. They do not want to release the results of the beavers. Please remember, INEC do not want to release the result of the beavers that they fraudulently changed by the announcement they made at 3 o'clock at night. We are a nation, we are so-called democracy, and the government of the day cannot, and INEC cannot announce before everybody in the middle of the day and say this is the announcement at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and say we announce this person as our president. They announce it in the middle of the night. My people, let's reason well. Oh. Let us reason well. Let us reason well. This is all a mind game. And what you need to understand that as you are going to be deciding voting in the elections, and me, I have said it before, you have the right to vote if you want to vote. But your vote counts for nothing. It is evidenced by what INEC did. Look at how many people look at how many people came out to vote for Obi. I said it before the elections. I said clearly before the elections, I said it won't matter who they said. I said it's either going to be at Tinubu or Atiku. And I said there is no way they will allow the most popular person to win the election. And I stand by that statement. And the most popular person, according to the number of people that you see supporting Peter Obi, is overwhelmingly Peter Obi. Peter Obi should be the president. No question. But that's exactly what happened. We said this. So I'm saying to you that your vote doesn't count. If your vote did not count in the presidential elections and they put the person who came second or possibly third as your president, what makes you think that your vote is going to count now, that your vote is going to suddenly matter? Don't forget, the state governors, that is all small fry compared to the overall person at the top. This is only a game. That's why I'm saying to you, it matters not. The elections are a fraud. INEC will never be honest with you. They will never speak the truth to power. They are going to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. So somebody just said now on Oduduwa TV Radio 2, thank you very much. Ki Yoruba owns Lagos. Igbo cannot be governor of Lagos State. Yoruba cannot go Anambra and contest for governor. Igbo will never allow it. I understand all of that. Keys to successful life. Please don't get me wrong. I am not arguing about that. That is a different discussion. But what I'm telling you right now is that you need to understand that if your vote did not count in the national elections, your vote did not count in the national elections, the person who won the vote, who won the national elections, was not the person they declared the winner. What makes you think they will not do the same thing when it comes to Lagos or other places? What makes you think they won't do the same thing? You see, they are playing a game. Oh, they want you guys to divide yourselves. They want to cause division. And that is what they're banking on. They already succeeded, sadly. Because those of us who are going for Yoruba Nation, now, by putting a Yoruba man in front of us, They have made it more difficult for us to be able to argue. Look at what is happening to us. A Yoruba man is, we Yorubas, we have no power. We want to go. This is where I want to go. They say, but hang on, the person that they announced as the president is your president. So what's your problem? So what they are doing is not solving a problem, but trying to confuse those of us who are going for self-determination to make us feel, oh, there's no point. It's the same thing they're doing with the state governors. Please, I want you to think about something. If they can, just think about this point too. If they can announce the person who probably came second, maybe third, as the winner of the elections without evidence of the beavers, what makes you think they cannot do so again? What makes you think they cannot do so again? That's the question I want you to focus on. I want us to really think about that. So I say the key issue for me, the key issue remains what constitution is being used to run you and your family. So the key issue is elections is something they can tamper with. And please, I need you to understand, but participation does not mean that you are voting an election. Voting in an election is your participation. No, you are actually under section 7.6. Let me show you it. I'm just going to show you quickly. Because a lot of people, there's a lot of misconception about that constitution, and we need to really clear up a few things. Let me just go and show you something here. So, because people think, oh, that by voting, that means that you participate. No, voting is not the same thing as participating in your own governance, and you need to understand that. And that is what I'm here to talk about today. Voting is not the same thing. We're going to the Nigerian Constitution. I'm going to number 763, I think it is. It's 77. Let's go to page 13. I want to go to number page 13 of the Nigerian Constitution. I'm sorry I'm going very fast, but I need you to understand this. So let me go here. Let me see. No. Let me just see. I want to make sure you get what I'm trying to get at here. Yeah. Now, look at this. I want you to read number section 7.4. The government of a state shall ensure every person who is entitled to vote or be voted for at an election to the House of Assembly shall have the right to be voted or to vote or be voted for at an election to a local government council. And that by inference also includes National Assembly, because they have the elections at the same time. So I need you to understand something. Please, you need to understand something. By participation in election is not the same thing as voting in an election. A vote is a democratic right that you can so choose, and it is guaranteed as stated under section 4 of this constitution. Now, where I am going, and I want us to really understand that is where we need to be. They are controlled. You see, at current the way the things are, the government is in control of that election. They decide who wins, who loses in every state. They decide everything, and they do not allow the voice of the people to come out. That is what you need to understand in all of this. I hope this is making sense. Princess Sandra, good afternoon and welcome. Oladiro Toib, welcome on board. And those of you who are on Oduduwa TV Radio as well, if I haven't said good afternoon to you, good afternoon. Let me just see if I can. I'm going to try and do this quickly so I can help. So please, the first thing to understand that this election is a fraud. Whatever decision that they make based on this election, it is something that they can control. They are only interested in what they can control and lie to you in your face. That is all they are interested in. And until we get that, we are going to be making the mistake. All they are doing is stoking the fires of division, because they know that the people are awake and they are so afraid. So let me just put it here now. So please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on backup channel as well. Please subscribe to that. And I'd really urge you. Yeah. Did you have any evidence that this is not a person that want? Are you on blessings? Tell them. Somebody is asking me if I have any evidence of that the person who won is not the person they announced. If I have the evidence, I say to them, just provide the beavers. That is all. INEC should provide the beavers for each of the states. If they cannot provide it, then we have every right to not believe it. So are you on blessing? Are you on blessings? Yes. So please, if that's the case, if that's what you're saying, I'm not saying that I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that either way. But all we are saying is that they need to provide the evidence, whatever evidence that they have, to support their decision. To say, oh, by the way, we are giving it to Ashiwaju, and or whoever they decide to win the election. We don't say we don't. I'm not interested in from a purely Yoruba Nation point of view. I'm not interested in who wins the election, because it's not going to favor us. As you are seeing, it's not favoring us either way. It's all a game. All I'm saying is that provide the beavers to support your assertion. That's all I'm saying, and I'm being realistic about it. And we have every right to ask that question. We have every right to ask that question till we get the answer that that the evidence to back it. So if you are telling us Ashiwaju won, fine, no question. We don't have a problem. No problem. Just get the evidence to support your assertion. Get the evidence. If you don't have that evidence, then there's a problem. Because the problem is now that we cannot put any faith in that decision by INEC. They announced it at 3 o'clock at night. I was there. I watched this. I filmed it. I was at 3 o'clock at night. A nation of 200 million people. We know already that in the middle of we don't have light. Why is it that the most important information that's going to impact millions, over 200 million people, is announced at 3 o'clock at night, when there's barely going to be 200,000 people with electricity to watch it? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. That's the question I am asking. So I am stating, I'm laying, as I'm talking about all of this, we are putting the evidence before you that all they're doing now is all a distraction. The central problem, the central issue that we must focus on is this. This election and your voting is not the only thing that is not the most important thing to you now. What is most important to you is how you must begin to participate in your governance and begin to hold them to account collectively within your community. Again, I say, whoever comes in, they are still going to have to run on this fraudulent 1999 constitution that you see before you. This constitution is what they would. Let me do this. I'll do it again. I want to just show you the cover of it. So this constitution is what they will use to be running you. This constitution, this fraudulent 1999 constitution that was imposed by military men on you, and they are refusing, and the person who is going to be sworn in will have to swear on oath to protect that same constitution, which means that whoever, be it Igbo, be it Yoruba, whoever they elect, and in any of the states, they are going to comply with this fraud. And until we collectively work together to dismantle this fraud, we are going nowhere. Things are going to get worse. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And we need to really understand that. So when you fall for this game, this one, Igbo man, how can he buy me? Igbo man run. Remember, please, I want you to remember, the beavers, they are refusing to give you the result of the president elections from the beavers. Now they are saying they're going to give you the results of the beavers. The beavers were supposed to be the one where they're going to put the results in. By the beavers alone, the person that should have won this election should have been who? Peter Obi. And I'm not interested in Nigeria. I'm for Yoruba Nation. But I'm just trying to show you the reason why I'm coming to have this discussion is to show you the flaws within the system that should encourage you to go for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt. That is all my own sole target, is to expose to you, those of you that still believe in this illusion. And I want you to know that Nigeria is nothing more than an illusion that is being used to divide and take you, will take you, yeah, exactly. So Igbos will never take Lagos from Yorubas. They don't need it. The politicians are using the tactic. Thank you very much, Ayomiku Daniju. Thank you, Ayomiku Daniju. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you very much, my brother. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. You see, intelligent discussions, when you get what they are trying to do, they are trying to use emotions to divide you. please, as you're watching this broadcast, you're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Currently, we will be, please, I'd like you to go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY backup channel on YouTube. Please, I'd like you to go and subscribe there. YouTube have actually blocked Citizen AY, the main channel, for the next 3 months. I can't post. It is down, and it's all, isn't it all interesting? The elections of Nigeria is going on, and that's when I'm blocked for 3 months. It's up. It's fine. We'll have the backup channel, and of course, but you can still subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube as well. Subscribe to both channels, because when I come back to life, we will carry, when I come back after the 3 months, we will carry on as normal and continue to speak truth to power. We're not going to be phased or distracted by what they're doing. I just want you to really understand what is happening, and it's important that those steps are taken. So I'm showing you that what is the most important document in your life right now is this constitution. And it is a constitution that none of us signed up to. And whoever wins any elections in the state, in the House of Assembly, by the president, they are all going to swear on oath by this constitution. And this constitution is what is being used to oppress us for the last 20 years. If we leave it in place, it will continue to oppress and suppress us. And that is what I want you to really understand in all of this. So when they are playing the game of Tinubu is this, Tinubu, ask yourself a simple question. Let them provide the evidence of the beavers for each of the states for the presidential elections. That is all. That is all. Let them provide the evidence. We are here to look at solutions. I don't want to discuss this one did. I'm not interested in all of that. And I don't think the more we talk about what they're giving us to talk about in terms of, oh, this one should win, the more we are distracting ourselves. We need to focus on how to improve the lives of our people. And to improve the lives of our people, we need to expose the lies that they've been told to them, so they can see it with their own eyes and begin to wake up and take positive collective action. And the operative word here is collective action. Collective action. This constitution remains a fraud that your constitution, your election will not fix. Your election will not fix this fraud. And I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Your elections will not fix this fraud. What will fix this fraud is to do this. And I'm going back to it now. I'll come back to it. You need to now that you know that in the Constitution, not voting is something that is actually part of section 7.4. 7, is it 7.4? Let me see. Yeah, 7 subsection 4. Section 7 subsection 4. The government of the state shall ensure that every person is entitled to vote or be voted for at an election to House of Assembly, shall have the right to vote or be voted for at an election and government council. Likewise, the same thing in the federal government, at the federal level as well. The federal government shall ensure that every person is allowed to vote. I think that's something they talked about here as well. It's the same thing. So you can take from that yes, it's the same thing would apply. I'm just trying to pick up that point where this is also mentioned at a national level. I know it's mentioned somewhere here, and I'm trying to make sure that I'll find it for you. But you can see subsection 7 section 7 subsection 4 is telling you that you have you are mandated, you have the Constitution backs your right to vote. Now let's go to the next point. I want you to let's go to page 15. I think it's 15. Is it 15? 15. Let's go to 15. Yeah. Okay. Now, here is what I want you to focus on, please. Don't buy into the lie about an Igbo man being your next governor of the state and using that. They are using it to distract you. You need to wake up. The people that will not announce the correct election for your presidential elections. They are not announcing the right. Fine, whether or not whoever they announce as president, and please, I'm being pragmatic about this. In the US elections, I'll give you 3 instances where they've rigged the elections and they didn't win. I'm just telling you that's what happened. So this is not something new, Nigeria. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to make sure you understand why we are going for Yoruba Nation. 1, when Al Gore won against George Bush in the elections, and they gave it to George Bush. The Electoral Commission and everything else, they rigged it and gave it to George Bush. That's number 1. Number 2, when Trump apparently won against Hillary Clinton, Again, Electoral College gave it to Trump, whereas it was actually Hillary who won the popular vote. You see, so this is not something new to us. And number three, of course, when Trump now complained that they gave it to Joe Biden instead of him, and all of this stuff, I'm saying to you that that's what they're doing, and it's not something new from that point of view. But that is what we don't want in Yoruba Nation. We want Yoruba land for Yoruba people. We want Biafra for Biafrans. That's what we want. What they are doing now is creating division. So we forget what we are going for, which is to get our land and the land of our ancestors back, and focus on what they want us to focus on, which is to fight among ourselves while they continue to rule us. You need to understand, this is a game that's been played. That is all the game they're playing. So you're going to tell me that the INEC that rigged, blatantly rigged the elections for the presidential elections cannot also rig the state elections, whoever you vote for. Is that what you're saying? Because we need to understand, you think your vote counts. You still think your vote, after this experience, after this blatant experience where they announce the result of an election at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. I was there watching it. I was there watching the fraudulent announcement by Mahmoud Yakub. And that is what we need to understand. If they can rig that election where everybody knows, and again, like I said, I've told you, me personally, elections under the current constitution, every time I talk about it, I'll bring it up. Elections under this current constitution is meaningless, because you're simply voting for the continuation of these fraudulent elections on your lives and those of your coming generations. And until we understand that central fact, anything else we do, if you go and fight in their own struggle, fight Igbo, fight Yoruba, you are just making a mistake. You are doing exactly what they want you to do. They are controlling your mind without you, instead of you focusing on the areas you need to focus on, which is how to bring down, how to rip up that fraudulent 1999 constitution, because it is the very thing that's being used to take away the resources you need to improve your lives, from state level, from local government level to state level to federal level. All of that. That is what you need to really understand, and that is the problem. So Ayomiku, Ayomiku Daniju said Tinubu Godfatherism is about to collapse in Lagos, so they have to do everything to stop that, and the division tactics is a big weapon of. Thank you very much. I hope this is a sane discussion. I'm probably, my brother, I might want to call you in quickly. If you want to call in now and talk about that a little bit, you can do that. We appreciate that. So that now, I'm seeing now Governor Adeleke approves. Let me see. Let me just bring that. I'm not going to show that quickly. I'll read that. Let's do it another way. Let me go this way. I want to do. So Governor Adeleke apparently now, before the elections, he suddenly approves pensions, pensioners and money, approves pension payment to release bond certificates Thursday, a few days before the elections. You see, all of this is all a game. You guys don't fall for it. They want you to vote, to believe in a system that is oppressing you. It's all about making you believe in a system that is oppressing you. And I'm here to tell you, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Now, here are a couple of ways that you can wake up. Here are a couple of things you need to look at. Since you know that they are manipulating, thank you. Let me. Oh, my brother, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Welcome on board. Thank you for your prompt answer, reply. Go ahead, my brother. Please go ahead. Yes.
Good afternoon, citizen. Right, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome. What would you like to say?
Yeah, thank you so much for your program.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You see, this conversation that is going on social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Igbos are saying
Yeah.
Lagos is a no man's land.
Mm-hmm. It's
a true Lagosian, right?
Yeah.
That has lived in Lagos, or even a visitor
Yeah.
of Lagos that have lived in Lagos as far back as, say, like 1996,
Yeah.
1997, 1998, right? Will testify to this conversation, to this thing that I'm saying.
Yeah.
That you see that word, Lagos is a no man's land.
Yeah.
It's a typical slang in Lagos
Mm-hmm.
that has been there as far back as 1994, 1995, 1996.
Yeah.
all the way into 1999.
Yeah.
You know, people say it
Mm-hmm.
in the street of Lagos.
Yeah.
If you like in Chinumbu Square,
Mm-hmm.
in Okemakbo,
Yeah.
in Campus, and
Yeah.
Lambiaji, in Obalende,
Indeed.
in CMS, all these places, they say it a lot over there.
Yeah.
But a typical Igbo man never meant that they
Mm-hmm.
would pick up a weapon and collect Lagos from the Yorubas.
Mm.
Because among themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they always say it that even though if they are playing and they are joking around that Lagos na no man's land,
Mm-hmm.
they know deep down in their mind that Lagos belong to the Yorubas.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
They will never disrespect that.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they joke around. But they play around. Just the same way we, the Yorubas, always call the Igbos Ajokutama Mumi.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
that's the same way too. They always like joke around that Lagos na no man's land. Everybody dey for Lagos. We all dey for here. All of us we all die for here. Lagos be our home self. It's a joke. It's a slang that they all do.
It is.
You know. So I've known this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So the politicians they figure out that the bond and the unity between the Igbos and the Yorubas is a bond that cannot be broken. Even
Exactly.
though they are arguing like
Exactly.
two brothers,
Mm-hmm.
they know that we have a strong bond between each other.
That's
that
correct.
cannot be tampered with.
Thank you.
It is easy to turn a typical northerner against a Yoruba man.
Absolutely.
But it is hard for you to turn an Igbo man against a Yoruba man.
Thank you.
Likewise, a Yoruba man
Against an Igbo man.
So the way, the tactics for them to get into a Yoruba man's head, because they know that we love our land and our land is our pride.
Yeah.
Is they will look for something that will make a Yoruba man think like his land is about to be challenged.
That's it.
To turn his switch on.
That's it. That's it.
So that's when they've been. That's when since 19 Citizen AY, sir.
Yes.
This conversation on social media about Igbos is about to take Yoruba land. The politicians have been using these tactics since 1999.
Thank you.
They have been using these tactics for so long. They did not use all those tactics when Buhari was about to become the president. When
Oh, no.
was rallying all the Yorubas around. They
Oh, no.
used the tactics.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
No, you're right. I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead. You're absolutely right. Go ahead.
When Buhari want to be the president of Nigeria, they did not use the tactics. Oh, nobody here. Oh, Lagos is no man land. Nobody hear that.
No.
But as soon as Tinubu godfatherism has been threatened, they brought out that political.
Very quick.
Card again.
Very, very good point.
They brought the card out again automatically because they know that, if they bring this card out, the Yorubas are going to get frustrated. They're going to get upset. Like, why is Igbo man saying that Yoruba land na no man's land? So to rally the Yorubas around behind Sanwo-Olu to vote APC in.
That's it.
But this is the funny part. They did not know that this election that is coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
It is not a Yoruba man's issue. It's not a Yoruba man's issue.
Yeah.
And it's not an Igbo man's issue.
No.
The problem that is about to befall APC in on this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
It is the aftermath of what happened in NSAS.
Yeah.
They are those youths that Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu and Buhari carried military to go and shoot them in Lekki Toget.
Yeah.
They are the one that want to vote out Sanwo-Olu. It is not a Yoruba man and it is not an Igbo man.
Yes.
It is a combination of every tribe
Yeah.
that seek refuge in the land of the Yorubas, which is Eko.
Yeah. Indeed.
In
Indeed.
Eko, we have Igbos. They came to seek refuge.
Exactly.
We took them with open hands.
Yeah.
We have the Ishekiris.
Yeah.
We have the Hausas. We have the Fulanis. We even have other people from other African countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other people from other African countries.
Exactly.
We have them in Lagos. They live in Lagos. They go to school in Lagos.
Yeah.
They have their businesses in Eko.
Exactly.
Their entire life is in Eko.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even we have 4 other African from the northern side of Africa.
Yep.
We have them in Eko.
Exactly.
We have Egyptians in Eko.
Thank
we
you.
have Libyans in Eko. We have Tunisians.
And they have full passport too. They have full passport and right to live like any other people who, but we don't say anything about that.
Exactly.
See, this is
I have a couple of them as friends back
you see?
in the days. In my grandfather's house in Tinkan Island, Our tenant that lives upstairs is a Tunisian.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a Tunisian.
You see?
Our tenant was a Tunisian. Mr. Hassan, he was a Tunisian. And he lived in my grandfather's house. He was our tenant for at least more than 12 years before I left Nigeria to the United States. All his children, he gave birth to all his children over there. His wife, his family members. During Ramadan and Eid, we kill ram, he kills ram, we eat together, they come to our house,
you see?
we go up to his house, we share our food together, we live together, we even babysit his children for him.
You see? You see?
That is a call for you. That is we the Yorubas.
That's it.
That is us. We are very accommodative.
Yeah.
So everybody is in our echo, but the Igbo man will never for one day say they want to collect our echo from us. The only person that I know that I feel threatened that can collect my echo from me is a Fulani man that is carrying AK-47 along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Do you know what is...
Me, since when I was born, I have never seen an Igbo man carry AK-47 and camp in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that he want to kidnap a Yoruba man. It has never happened.
That's it. I want to ask a question. How is it that when Dangote was putting this the refinery there, I didn't see anybody talk about, oh, this is Lagos, so why is it that why should it be called Dangote refinery? You know, it's somebody's land. Nobody raised those things. This is what we need to understand. This is what people need to understand. There are so many things. Why is it that Ado Bayero came to Lagos and they say it was exiled from Kano, is it Kano or Chokoto or whatever? He was to Lagos and he has a whole swathe of land. Nobody's saying anything. But when yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. Yes. Yes.
You see the question you just asked.
Yes.
Asked me right now, right? It is part of the Armageddon. You see what is going to happen in Eko is going to be a big eye opener.
It is
for the entire world.
It is
the Armageddon that is about to happen in Eko.
Yes.
You see that Dangote thing that you just talked about. Everybody are saying Dangote is building a 90 billion naira.
It's our money. What are you talking about? Our money. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
First question: if APC lose Eko, the very first thing that is going to come out is how much went to Tinubu's pocket. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
All the people that benefited from that scam.
Thank you.
That is on that shore where Dangote is building his refinery.
Yeah.
All of them secrets will come out.
So exactly.
EFCC have not even started their job yet. Interpol have not started
their job yet.
International Criminal Court have not started their job yet.
Yeah.
The files.
Yeah.
The files and secrets that will come out as soon as APC lose that echo, everybody will be shocked.
Yeah.
That is when because they always say the revenue of Lagos is 200 billion. That's a lie.
Yeah. It's more than that.
It is way more than that.
Yes.
So the problem that is going on, right? The only way for them to tame that destruction that is about to befall them is to turn Yoruba and Igbos behind against each other.
Thank you.
It's a political. It's not even a political game alone. It's a psychological mindset.
That's it.
Turn two brothers against each other.
That's it.
And see how we're going and see how they're going to succeed.
Exactly.
This election that is about to happen, Igbos are not the only one voting in Eko now.
Exactly.
Even the Labour Party that won Eko in the presidential election, we the Yorubas
voted for them.
Of the vote.
That is the reality that people don't want to face. That's the reality.
We the Yorubas are the one that have the majority of the vote in Eko.
So the majority.
We voted massively for Labour Party. All the youth,
yes.
All the Yoruba youth, they voted massively for Labour Party in Eko during the presidential election.
Exactly. I mean, yeah.
We the Yorubas, we are tired of Tinubu's godfatherism.
That's correct.
That's why all of them are pooping up and down in their pants.
Yeah.
Because they know that the secret. Look, okay, if APC loses Eko today, look at the people that they are using for transportation.
Yeah.
When we have intellectuals, I mean, no disrespect to anybody's anybody's educational background. But still, come on.
Yeah.
That's what we can do. Is that what Eko has come to?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
They are using somebody that cannot spell common democracy
Yes. Yes.
to do chairman for motor park and garage.
Yeah, it
Are we
is.
serious?
It is not.
I mean,
Is
I'm not disrespecting anybody's educational level.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's consequences. There's a lot of factors. Only God know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not using that against him, but still.
and just for context, you are speaking as a Lagosian, you know, so you know what you're saying. It's not like somebody that is coming from or you are speaking as a proper sorry. Well, there you go. So you are speaking from an informed position. You know what is being done here.
Exactly. So, Esa, so all my Igbo brothers, I just want to plead to all of you that you are hearing me this evening. Don't even pay these wild dogs. Don't pay them no mind. You know, they don't count. They are just using this as a tactics because they know their godfather is about to get crumbled 100% in the co, and it's going to be a benefit for all of us because with the Yorubas we are tired of Tinubu's godfatherism in the co because
speaking of that, since you are on here now, let's have a discussion now. Let me paint a scenario. If, as you saw in the presidential elections, the person who won the vote was not the person who they announced as the winner. We all know that. Can the same thing not happen in Lagos? Are they saying they cannot do the same thing in Lagos? I'm just trying to understand, though.
Yes, the same, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. If APC can make that happen in Imo State, that they put Opus on demand that was number 4 to number 1.
Exactly.
Anything is possible in Nigeria.
That's what exactly.
Nigeria don't practice democracy.
They don't.
You need to remember that.
They don't.
See, Baba Fela will
May so rest in peace. Yes.
In entire peace.
Yes.
Baba Fela have said it that in Nigeria it's a demonstration of grace.
Yes. So yes, democracy. Demonstration of grace. Democracy. Democracy.
It's mad people that think that Nigeria government is a legit government. No. There's nothing like democracy in Nigeria.
No way.
So that is why you can see. That is why you can see on a regular election afternoon, a military man is the one even helping them to snatch ballot box.
There you go. There you go.
On a regular peaceful protest.
Yeah.
That children are holding a country's flag, and the military man took armored personnel carriers and big guns to go shoot them down.
Exactly.
Is that not madness?
It's total, utter madness. Utter madness.
That is not a democracy.
No. Exactly.
Nigeria has never ever practiced democracy since 1960. Even though if they say democracy started in 1999, it's all shambles.
It's all exactly.
The same people that have become the president of Nigeria, apart from Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan, are all military men in khakis. They took off the khakis and put on.
There you go. There you go.
What are we talking about?
There you go. There you go.
A military man will always have his military mindset, even though he become a Democrat. The so-called lies, fraudulent democracy they are talking about. A military man will always be a military man.
Indeed.
Look at Buhari. This is an example of a typical military man. Buhari said on national TV that the Igbos are dots in a circle. What?
There you go.
And you say you are practicing democracy?
Exactly. Exactly. That.
Because citizen-wise, people, I think Nigerians don't understand what a president stands for. That word, president. It is not just a word.
Yeah.
A president is representing a complete nation, the entire population in one zone.
Indeed.
The president. That's why if you look at the United States of America's politics, if you see American president, they come out smart and sharp.
Indeed.
They don't come out like that is about. American presidents are always sharp and smart look, when you see them, you'll be like,
Exactly.
That's the first thing that will come into your mind, like, whoa. Like a country is going to look, you've seen a country.
It represents a
on
country.
movement.
Yeah.
A country is moving. An individual is like, you look, as soon as you see him like this, you'll be like, wow, look at a country right here. Like you've seen a country. That is what a president, that is how a president looks.
Exactly.
But look at what we are producing in contraction Nigeria. Dead man on sick beds.
Yeah.
Dead man on sick beds are the one representing. How would international community respect a country like that?
Well,
When they already see your president as a weak man.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
Nigeria is just a joke, man.
It is.
Anybody that believes in Nigeria is wasting his goddamn time.
Yeah.
That person don't have anything. That person is just wasting their time.
It's true.
I've already given up on Nigeria for so long.
Yeah.
Nigeria is not a country.
No.
It's not a. It is. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even nice for calling Nigeria a zoo. Me, I call Nigeria location nothing.
Exactly.
Because from location nothing is the right name. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so nice calling Nigeria a zoo. Because a zoo, there's organization in a zoo. There's every animal know where they're supposed to be. They know the time they're supposed to go to sleep.
Yes.
They know the time they're supposed to eat.
Yes.
They know the time they're supposed to play around. Everything is organized. But in Nigeria, nothing, absolutely nothing is organized. From the very top, the presidency, all the way to the local government, it's all a bunch of shambles.
Exactly.
Madness everywhere.
Exactly.
Madness everywhere. The last time I've been in Nigeria now is 14 years, and I'm never thinking of going back until
You see?
the Yoruba Nation before I
You
go
see?
to that atmosphere. Because that's where Yoruba land is located, around that atmosphere,
Yeah.
around that West Africa, Atlantic Ocean coast. That is when I'm going to go back home. And because if I go to Nigeria today, God knows, it's either I get arrested by the police or something, because I'm just going to run rampage on everybody, because
Yeah.
their brain is not working.
No.
All of them are just bunch of lunatics over there. I don't understand what's going on.
So true. Thank you so much, my brother. Just as a final roundup, so what would your advice be for those who are still believing in all of this? What would your advice be for them? What would you advise them to do?
Anybody that want to go out to go vote on Saturday, I'm not going to say I'm not here to control anybody's mindset. But one thing, if you go vote on Saturday, just please help us vote out the godfatherism of that Eko, because that is going to be the new beginning of Eko. So Eko can have a head throne. So every people, anybody that want to come to Eko to come and invest and come and do business in Yoruba land will be able to do their business in a reasonable way. Not coming to Eko and do business and one tout is going to be collecting unnecessary money that you don't even need to pay.
Yeah.
Instead of contributing into the economy of Lagos, you are contributing into the pocket of an individual. So that godfatherism, first of all, needs to get out of Lagos. Once that godfatherism get away from Lagos, you're going to see how the glory of Lagos is going to spread all around the entire country. But still, Nigeria is not a country.
Yeah.
Every ethnic group to your tent, O Israel. Everybody needs to go back to their land.
Thank you.
And it's not in a violent way.
That's it.
If we get our Yoruba nation,
That's it.
the Biafrans are 100% welcome.
Exactly.
The Hausas are 100%
Welcome. Yes.
All the African countries, all of you are 100%
Welcome.
Even the Fulanis that they have common sense.
They will be welcome.
You are 100%. You are
Thank you.
also welcome.
Thank
as
you.
long as you follow our laws
Thank
and
you.
regulation and our rules. And if you know you cannot follow our rules, even an Igbo man that cannot follow our rules,
Yeah, will not be welcome.
Go back to your east.
Exactly.
Don't fight.
Thank you. That is exactly, you said it all succinctly, because our goal is, we know that Nigeria can never function. So those of you that are talking about, even if our Igbo man were to run, let's just even say, let's put your argument there, they will still be running that country, that your state, based on that constitution, and that is the issue. We need to remove.
Constitution is a fraud.
Exactly.
And if they don't want to do anything about the constitution, break up the country.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you. So thank you so much, my brother. Like I said, we'll have to come and do a particular show, you and me, and actually, bring the discussion forward. So expect my call the next few days to work out something, and. So thank you so much for your contribution into this discussion. Thanks. Talk soon. You're welcome. Okay. Bye. That was. It's very refreshing. This is a young man that's speaking here. And I'm not speaking from a point of view of trying to be partisan or something. Listen, I'm a Yoruba man to the core. That's why you see me with my Yoruba flag. That's why you see me. I want my Yoruba nation. Nothing is going to stop that. Nothing. This Yoruba nation, that is me. That will never ever change. So all this talk about Lagos or this and that, Lagos is in Yoruba land. End of story. No discussion. When we get Yoruba nation, people who want to come into Yoruba land will have to comply with Yoruba rules and regulations and our constitution. Likewise, in Biafra, those of us who are Yorubas who happen to be in Biafra land, we will have to comply with whatever they decide there. That is all it is. So for me, you need to understand that this election that is taking place is not going to change the... Every time I talk about it, I want you to see that picture because you need to connect it in your mind. Your elections will not change this constitution. And we need to keep bringing that home to you until many of us understand the fundamental issue remains the constitution. Because I'm telling you, until we break that constitution down in terms by way of a referendum, and I'm going to now talk about how we are going to do that, and we need to take action. Now, it is obvious to me how people have mobilized for this election, which we all now know is a fraud. People mobilized. I can see that people have got the willingness, they want to change. But the government have made you believe that the only thing you must do is to participate in elections. That is the only way you can change the things. And I'm here to tell you that's a big lie. I'm here to tell you it's a big lie. There are other things that you must do that is even more important than voting. As you saw in this election, people went in their millions, queued. People went at 3 o'clock at night, slept at the polling station, voted for the person, watched the pictures, took names, took evidence, everything. What came of it? I want to know what came of it. What came of that collective effort? Was it not rigging? And if it's rigging, and the person who came second or third is now the person who's your president, what does that tell you about the process? And this process that's been put in place by this fraudulent 1999 constitution, which is actually a promulgation decree. I'm going to bring that to you, and I want to keep ramming this home until we all understand that. So the question now is not about when we get Yoruba Nation. It's not a question of it's not if now. It's when. It is when. And this process now, I want you to have a belief in yourselves and in all of us collectively that we have the ability to achieve Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation. But we need to begin to understand how everything they've done is unraveling before our eyes. And we have an opportunity presented before us. But the key steps we take from here on are going to determine, how soon it happens. So let me just show you. This is what you are calling a constitution. Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. And I want you to know something. I'm going to go to this place here. This decree may be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Promulgation Decree 1999. That is what is being used. You need to really understand that we cannot continue to live in a situation where we are being oppressed by documents that we didn't sign up to. None of us signed up to it. So when they're giving you the smoke screen, oh yes, Igbo man is coming to rule, Igbo man take over and everything else. Under this current constitution, the powers remains in the center. The powers of governance remains in the center. And all they're doing is trying to make, there's a term called crabs in a barrel. What they do, they will put some crabs in a barrel and then they will squeeze them into it. So to survive, what do? You turn on each other. So you fight each other in a barrel. But you've forgotten that somebody put you in that barrel. The barrel is Nigeria, by the way, in case you don't know. They forced us to a barrel. We need to get out of that barrel. That is the most important part of what we're talking about. We need to get out of that barrel. And it will require all of us working together. How do you get out? If you start understanding that that's what they've done, you work together, you pull, each one pulls the next one out till you form a string out of the barrel and you crawl out of the barrel, and in fact you tip it over. When you do, you all get out of the barrel. But if you are fighting each other, your survival rate is very, very low. And that is what they're trying. You need to understand this is what they're doing. Go and look at the term crabs in a barrel. That is what is being done. So when they are the ones whipping up this tribal thing, because they know that the people are waking up, and to divide them, you divide them in terms of their, where they come from, Yorubas, Igbos, and all of that. In Yoruba land, when the Yoruba people decide put the constitution together, whatever the situation, that is what we decide collectively as Yoruba people. Likewise in Biafra. So I don't think, to be honest, to be focusing on that and you think that is going to solve the fundamental issue, that again, you're wrong. This is what I want our people to really understand. What is being done is a game here. So now let's go back to the main issue again. I want to tell you the steps we need to take, and I will keep saying this. The steps we need to take to remove ourselves from this fraudulent 1999 constitution. Here are the things we need to do. We need to organize ourselves in our communities. And I've seen the evidence of our community organization. People organize within the community. We're going to vote. We're going to, just like the political parties are doing. We now need to do that at a local level, local government level. Each local government area, you need to organize yourselves and understand that the one important information that you need that must be spread in every community right now in the South, in as much as we want to go for self-determination, is to begin to use the powers within this fraudulent 1999 constitution to get what we want. We need to use the powers within this 1999 constitution to get what we want. And what is it we want? We want Yoruba Nation. We want Biafra. We want Middle Belt. And the powers within here, if we use it in the right way, we can achieve it and nothing can stop us. Nothing. This is what I'm trying to really get us to understand. So everything that you're talking about, oh, this one is fight, Igbos coming to it's all a smoke screen. Keep in mind, the presidential elections, who came first? Who won the elections and who came first? I talked about this in my broadcast. I said the person who will win the election is not the person they will announce. And that's what has come to pass. You cannot go and check my broadcast. I said I did the part. I said the person who will win the election is not the person that they will announce, and that's exactly what has happened. And if they tell you that that's the person they announce, tell them to provide the beavers state by state. They can't provide it because the beavers will expose the lie. It will expose the lie that the state collator for INEC has rigged the elections, and that's why they will never provide it. So if you're wasting your energy trying to think about, oh, when I vote, they will announce the right person. They are not. They are. It's on the wrong. You're facing the wrong battle. What we need to focus on is how we can begin to empower people in our community. I'm going to read you a line. Section 14A. Please, this line is very, very important that every community understands. 14A, 14.2A, sorry, 14 subsection 2, subsection A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Now, we know that we did not write this constitution. We didn't sign up to it. But that's what's being used to rule us by the crooks in power. But what we can take from it is that the constitution says that we have the power and authority as sovereign people. Now, the only way we can get out of this is that every local government area begins to see themselves as a sovereign. So one local government area, Etiosa, for example, is a local government area. You have sovereignty. Ajegule, whatever, has, local government, it has sovereignty. So we need to work in that way. So that local government area, you now need to use that sovereignty to now begin to get the things you want in your area. How do you do that? That is the question now. So now, firstly, you understand that your local government area has sovereignty, which means that it's from the powers of that local government area that the federal government derives all its powers, because it's all of the 774 local government areas that have now given power to the federal government to say, okay, fine, you can govern over us. But the second part of this is what I need you to understand. Here's the first part. Sovereignty. You have sovereignty. That sovereignty means that within your community, you have the power the sovereign power to ensure that your community gets what it needs. And the next part of it is what I want to talk about now. And I want us to really begin to understand that community by community. And the power is within this fraudulent 1999 constitution that we can use. And once we start exercising it, in no time, we will get to the point whereby we will demand for a referendum and they cannot turn us down. They cannot turn us down. All of this stuff about the Igbo and this is a smoke screen. You are falling for the trick. You need to wake up. The idea of Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to power, is to wake you up. Wake you up from this lies. When you start talking from the basis of what they've told you, they put you in a box. You need to think outside of the box. You need to look at the bigger picture of what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is to make you believe in their lies long enough to continue to keep this constitution on your head. What you want to do is to break that constitution apart once and for all. But you can only do it collectively. And that is why you need to understand that sovereignty, every local government area has sovereignty. And that sovereignty you can exercise by doing the next step. Here's the next step. So, 14.2a, understand that each and every local government authority, all 774, you have sovereignty. That sovereignty you need to demonstrate. You cannot demonstrate that sovereignty by one person in your community alone. All of you within the community need to have meetings. Now, we've seen that before in this election, many communities came together to vote for Peter Obi or whoever they wanted. They did organization. They did a massive organization. So I know that is possible. The organization is possible. But I need you to now understand that you need to put that energy in the right place. The right place is, of course, focusing on your community, collective community, that you will benefit from, that your generations will begin to benefit from right now. That's what I want you to focus on. Because if you vote along the party lines, it just divides the community and you are not getting the infrastructure that you need within your community as we speak. Please dispute what I'm saying if it's a lie. Somebody can type and dispute. You can type it or call in on +444 7399 580 606 and let's discuss it, because that's really important to understand. Once you are busy voting along party lines, the party, by the way, the result of which they threw to the bin, that is confirmation that your voting counts for nothing in the hands of these people. And I need you to understand that. That is the point I'm making here. I hope people can make sense of what I'm saying. There's a thread here. The thread is this: how to dismantle that contraption, how to dismantle the fraudulent 1999 constitution. That is the singular most important thing that you must focus on. Anything else to do with, vote for this Igbo space, that one, it's a lie, you know. So what I'm trying to make sure we understand is that instead of thinking about, in your local government area, say it is a local government area now. So some of the people will vote for APC. Some of them will vote for PDP. Some of them will vote for Labour Party in Etiosa, as an example. Now, what that means is that local government area, you have effectively been weakened because you are all voting for parties that you think will get your interest. But you forget that the sovereignty that you have in Etiosa collectively will give you the water, the light, the roads, the schools, the bridges, the healthcare, if you all work together. Because it is now evidence to you now that with all your organization as Labour Party, as APC, as a PDP, it has successfully divided your community to such an extent that the roads and the water and the light and the schools and the healthcare that you need is not forthcoming, because it now says, if you are APC, you will get it. If you are PDP, you will get something. If you are the Labour Party, you will get. When in actual fact, it says in the book, sovereignty belongs to your local community. So if the community works together as we speak now, then that community will get the things in it, because it will put pressure on the system. And here's what we want you to really understand about it. Now, 14.2c, we're going to skip B. B, the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. As it is evident now, the government do not care about your safety nor your security. People are being killed. People are being if you are held to ransom by the terrorists, the government does not pay, so they don't care about you. So you need to focus within your community collectively. This requires a collective effort, a local government, the local community coming together, understanding that they have the power, the singular most important power, which is the collective power within the community, which is the sovereignty. Now, once you have that in one hand, the next part of it now is to now go to the section C, which I'm going to touch on. The participation, let me highlight that. I want you to understand, please follow what I'm saying, because don't follow that stuff to do with this one wins the election, and then that means that you're safe just because you voted for this person and they won and they get you the election. It means that your community is safe. You are being fooled. So please keep in mind, number one, first part of the puzzle now is the sovereignty. 2A, sovereignty belongs to your local government authority, your local government area, and you in that local government area, by working together, you exercise that sovereignty, working together for your common goal within your community, for roads, water, light, schools, hospitals, bridges, safety, security. You work together regardless of the party political lines, because there's no foundation for you in your community. Do you have roads now? You are going to vote in APC, BTP, and are they giving you roads? So what you have left now is in that community to begin to work together to exercise that sovereignty. Now, how to do it is the participation by the people. 14 section 2C. Every community needs to know this. Within that constitution, there are ways you can begin to hold them to account. That is where you must focus on. Whether or not the elections, that election will not provide you water, light, road, school. They will not. I'm telling you, that election, it will not provide you water, light, road. It will not. But what I'm telling you now is, if your community stands together and begin to now participate, 14.2c, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. You need to understand. You know, section 7, section 7 subsection 4 talks about you can vote. So the voting is not the same thing as participation. As you can see, voting is not the same thing as participation, and people are mixing that up. When you vote, that is something that you have to do to vote them in. It's not the same thing as participation. Participation is now when you don't have the roads and you have no water, no light, no roads, no safety. You now, as a community, work together to begin to hold the government to account. And how you work together is by participating together. Decide among yourselves, division of labor. Okay, we are going to have people who are going to be on our committee for roads, on our committee for light, on our committee for bridges, on our committee for schools, on our committee for hospitals, and all of that. In every community, you begin to have that. Then once you have, that is when you begin to participate. Now the committee will now begin to call the local government officials, from your councillor to your local government chairman to your state house of assembly members. You now begin to call them to your community and say, as a community, we have the sovereignty. We are participating in governance by making you aware that these are the things we want in our community. And it can only work if you work together as a community. You see what they're trying to do now? They're trying to split you up. They are trying to split you. Oh, this one is fighting. Because when you're busy doing that, nothing gets done. You focus your energy on something that will not achieve the ultimate goal, which is what you want in your community. You want good roads, water, light, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety, security, and so on and so forth, to make your life better. But when you start, hey, it's an Igbo man coming, hey, it's a Yoruba man, you're fighting yourselves, and the people who are supposed to provide the things that you need within your community don't do anything because they've taken your mind away from where you're going. I hope you can see what I'm saying. I hope that is making sense. I hope that is making some kind of sense to you as you are watching me, because that is very, very important that we understand that they played a game long enough, you know. Yeah, we people is a crime against him. Exactly. You're so right. Yes, you know. So this is what I'm hoping that people can pick up from this, because there are I've started doing a translation of the constitution into Yoruba to our people, and I did some on Oduduwa TV radio, and you can go and watch it. And I'll probably do, when I do a certain section long enough, I will then do the booklet, and I will go through the booklet online. I will do a presentation of the booklet online, so that we can and do it completely in Yoruba. But I'm breaking down into small bits, so that people can watch it and you can download it and see it online. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Let me just show you quickly. So please don't forget, all of this now that we're saying is aimed at ensuring that the community understands the power that it possesses. Right now, our local community, we do not understand the power that we possess within our hands when we work collectively. What they are doing is easily dividing us. Right now, the parties that if you vote for any party, it's not going to give you roads. It's not going to give you water. It's not going to give you schools. It's not going to give you none of those things. But they are making you believe that it will. They are wasting your energy. They are taking your mind, distracting you from what is going to benefit your community. Voting for any of the parties now is not going to give you the things that you need within your community. None of the parties. LP, Labour Party can't do it. APC will not do it. PDP will not do it. And Labour Party definitely cannot do it because they are not in the clique. They are do you think they're going to be frustrated to the point of you don't even know what's going on? This guy was talking about Tinubu. I heard him talk about yesterday. I think they showed the video where he was talking about, oh yeah, you have the governor, but we have we have the House of Reps, we have the senators, we have the. So all of this is a game. This is a game. What they will do, this is a game. You need to understand that we have to really look at our own benefit. Don't lose your life. Don't continue to allow your community to suffer at the expense of their game. You need to take possession within each community. We need this has to be done community by community. The focus now must be how to use the powers within the fraudulent 1999 constitution to get the things you need within your community, regardless of the party. Because as you see now, whatever party you vote for, election is rigged. Your election is meaningless. I said it. I said at the beginning, the winner of the election is not going to be the person who won the popular vote. The person who will elect is going to be different, will be different from the person who won the elections. And that's what's turned out. So you need to really understand that we are not a democracy like Ayomeku Daneju. And, like he said, we are not practicing democracy. And until we understand that, we are not going to go anywhere. So please, every community, sovereignty belongs to you. And that sovereignty requires that every community stands together. Begin to have a committee. Have a committee for roads, a committee for health, a committee for schools, a committee for water, a committee for hospitals, a committee for all of each and every committee. And you begin to have active participation. Never allow one person to go and speak to the government. They have to come and speak to the community, and you have to walk them through your community so they see what you're suffering. And the more you do that collectively, the more powerful you become. That is the most important way we can do this now. Because you have been led to believe you have no power. But I'm telling you, within the Constitution, you have the right. And you can quote Section 14(2)(c) to them, that the participation of the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provision of this Constitution. And by you participating, you are holding them to account. You are performing that is your real role. Quite apart, the voting is Section 7(4). Section 7 subsection 4 of the Constitution says that the local government is mandated to ensure that you are allowed to vote and you can be voted for at an election. So that is a separate thing. So don't mix the two. Voting and participation are two different things, as evidence here. And we need to exercise the participation alongside the sovereignty. Sovereignty as your local government area. You speak when you go collectively, and you speak to your local councillor, and you speak to your local chairman, and you go to the House of Assembly collectively. And every community must, for this to work, it requires every community to be part of it. The time that you are spending, if you are spending 10 hours in the church or 10 hours in the mosque within your community, please cut that down by 80%. Spend 20% of your time in your church and the mosque, and the 80% on trying to make sure you organize yourselves into the committees, like I said, and go and start pestering. Start going to the local councillor, local chairman, House of Assembly, state governors. Start going collectively. It has to be done collectively. If you go individually, it's not going to work. That is the point I'm trying to make here. And you have proved that you can organize yourselves by how you organize yourselves in these fraudulent elections. Many people who are queuing, they organize themselves to go for that task, for voting, thinking that the voting will make a difference. But as we know, the voting is not going to make any difference. I hope this is making some kind of understanding to people. So I just wanted to really bring that point home. Those are the two areas that I believe that we need to begin to explain to our people. So let me go and show you the bit that I did recently. I'm going to just show you so you can see what I've done, and you can look at that as a blueprint. I suggest for my Igbo brothers and my Middle Belt brothers who can speak in the language to do the same thing. It's just a first way into how things run, because our people don't understand. You see, the people understand that once you vote in an election, that the people those who are in government will do what they promised. They won't do it. The point is they won't do it. It requires your participation in it to hold them to account. And please keep in mind, when I'm saying all of this, the ultimate goal for me and for those of us in this struggle is to go for Yoruba Nation. Once the people start actively participating in the governance by holding them to account in the community, on a community by community basis, what then happens is that the people now get empowered. Once they see the flaws that we've seen all along in the constitution, they themselves will say, now we want a referendum. They will demand it community by community themselves, and the government cannot ignore it. And that is the point I'm trying to make here. You know, so Erudite Timber, Ugochukwu, thank you very much for joining us. Let me just show you quickly what I'm talking about in terms of doing the translation in Yoruba. I started off with the promulgation decree, and I will do that and show you that first. So let's quickly go into that. Hopefully, it will allow me to do it. So I might have a little interlude in the middle of this and play that song again, and hopefully you can follow what we be able to join us in that, because I think it's very, very important to understand what we're trying to achieve here. So this is in Yoruba, keep in mind. So if you are an Igbo person, take this opportunity. We need this to happen in every community. Let me just show you what I mean. Let me see. So let me see. So let me see. So someone Yoruba Nation is the only solution. Anyone selected will still have offline expression on Yoruba land, allow and villages. Exactly. So this is why every community needs to participate in this. So let me just show you. Now I hope please let me show you what I've done. So let's look at this now. So this is the translation of the I'll go to the other one. This is the translation of this document. What you are about to see is a translation of this document here. I have, in effect, translated this document here in Yoruba. This document that you see on the screen, which is the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I've translated it into Yoruba and I spoke it. Now, it may not be 100% perfect. I've tried to do as much as I can, and using my knowledge of Yoruba. I studied it in secondary school, primary and secondary school in Nigeria. And now let's go into that country from Nigeria. But I wanted to just so you have a background. So what you're about to see next is what I translated for Yoruba people to get a meaning of why they need to break apart from contractor Nigeria. If the people do not understand the document that's being used to rule them, they cannot fight it. They need to understand it. They cannot stand up for themselves. We are trying to empower them to stand up for themselves. So by translating it into local languages, it helps them to understand why they must stand up. So here we go. Now, so let's go into this now. Constitution 1999. So now this is what I did. You can hear my voice in the background.
Àwọn òfin ti Federation of Nigeria oṣù karùn-ún ọjọ́ karùn-ún ọdún 1999. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ìtumọ̀.
So now I'm translating it now in Yoruba language.
Òfin àwọn oníkakítí àmọ̀ sí promulgation decree number 24 1999 òun là ń kà yìí. Àtúmọ̀ sí Yorùbá. Níwọ̀n bó ti jẹ́ pé ìjọba ológun ìjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú ìyípadà sí ìṣàkóso abẹ́lé ètò òṣèlú. Òfin 1998 ti ṣe ìdìbò nípasẹ̀ àjọ ìdìbò ti orílẹ̀-èdè olómìnira, ṣe ìdìbò sí òfíìsì ààrẹ àti igbákejì ààrẹ, àwọn gómìnà àti igbákejì, àwọn gómìnà, àwọn alága àti àwọn igbákejì, àpéjọ orílẹ̀-èdè, ilé ìgbìmọ̀ àti àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ìjọba agbègbè.
So basically, I'm translating this document here, just for those of you who are following us, you who don't speak Yoruba. I'm translating it word for word. I got up to this point here that I've done here in that translation. Keep in mind, we need to make our people aware of what the document means, because the government of the day, the entire governance failed to translate this constitution for our people, and there is a deliberate reason why they did that. They didn't want people to understand the rules and the laws that was being used to govern them, so they can use them as and when they please. For example, now, if the people knew the laws, they wouldn't be falling for this trick that they're doing now in terms of Yoruba versus Igbo. But because the people don't understand, the government is going to take the mind of, oh, look, the Igbo are coming to take your land. Who is facilitating the taking of the land then? Who is it? Is there a process? Do you understand that process? Those are the questions we should be asking. So that's why I encourage you, if you are Igbo speaking and you can translate this document to Igbo for your Igbo brothers and sisters, do so. If you are Middle Belt and you're coming from Efik, or you're coming from from the Plateau or Middle Belt area, and they speak the language, the Nok language or the Tiv language, translate this document into Tiv for the people to understand. So I'm just giving you a quick synopsis of what I did there. I'll listen to it for a few minutes. So
ìjọba ológun federal ní ìlọsíwájú tí ìfaramọ́ rẹ̀ láti fún ìṣàkóso ará ìlú tí ìjọba tiwantiwa ní ọjọ́ 29 oṣù karùn-ún ọdún 1999 tí a ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ kọkànlá oṣù kọkànlá ọdún 1998. ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàjọpọ̀ jomitoro tolófin gba agbára pẹ̀lú ojúṣe sí láàrin àwọn ohun mìíràn.
So you can see, you can read the rest. Those of you can read. I'm just giving you an idea. I'm going to pull away from that. I'm just giving you an idea of the kind of work we need to do. So I've literally translated this document here into Yoruba, because we need our people, and I'm hoping that people can share that broadcast. It's on Oduduwa TV Radio right now, on Oduduwa TV Radio 2, and on Oduduwa TV Radio, it's on there. And I will do a program where we're going to bring it all together. But I recognize that because of data issues, people can take little snippets of what we're doing now, of that video, and share it among themselves so that they begin to translate it. Now, it's not perfect, but it is giving you at least a rough idea of what that document involves. There is one key area that I wanted you to look at. I talked about it at the end. This is the bit I'll fast forward it. The bit where it talked about the fact that the government, that promulgation decree was written by the military. Let me see if it talks about it here. So let me see. Sorry. So I'm going to show you this bit. I'm going to explain this bit to you now.
Alákòóso àgbà àti àwọn ológun Federal Republic of Nigeria. So mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo àkárí yẹn. So eléyìí ni màá gbé síta. Tẹ́ bá ti rí eléyìí.
So basically what I'm talking about there was that this document was written by the military and imposed on us, and I translated that in Yoruba language. It is important for our people to understand exactly what was done, and that is what I am really trying to focus on here. You see, the idea to focus on Igbo, this and that, our people do not have this information. This is key information that is in Yoruba that people can read, and I encourage all Yoruba people in all local government areas to take a picture of this. Just take a picture of what is on the screen in every community, local government community, and begin to show this to our people so they know the lie they have been told. Many people do not know that they've been told a lie. We need to start at the foundation of that lie to expose it. It's going to take time, but that's what we need to do. Focusing on something that is not going to change this constitution is a waste of our time. The election will not change the constitution. The election will not change the constitution. And that is what we need to understand. I mean, we're hearing now. Dino just said that they spent 400 billion naira on presidential election. Let me just show you. To tell you, 400 billion naira, but they cannot spend that 400 billion naira on 400 billion naira on your roads. They spend 400 billion naira on election campaign. But what about the money for roads? This is what, please, I'm not interested in labor, or I'm not interested. It's the fact that I want you to look at. Look at this fact here. See? I want you to look at that. Confirm that PDP spent 400 billion on presidential election campaign. Imagine what 400 billion naira would do in our local government areas. Imagine. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. So let's go back again. So I'll just play a little bit more of this one.
Tẹ́ bá ṣe ń rí yẹn báyìí, ẹ ti mọ̀ pé tẹ́ bá ṣe ń rí yẹn, mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo yẹn kó yé wa náà ni mo ṣe gbé yẹn jáde. Kí gbogbo wa ká lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kó lè yé wa pé n tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa nìyẹn o. Àwọn ò dẹ̀ gba gbogbo yẹn. Ṣọ́nà mi yẹn mo kàn fẹ́ fi ilé iṣẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Àwọn máa gbé wá jáde díẹ̀ báyìí. Ó ṣeé ṣe máa tún rí nǹkan mi tí máa tún jáde lẹ́yìn ilé tí ó máa tẹ̀lé. Torí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kó yé kí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kó yé wa. Ìwé àṣẹ ìwé òfin náà gbélé wa lórí yẹn. Ẹni tó bá ẹ bá wa wò ẹ bá wa gbé yẹ̀wò.
So I've even asked for people, if you can do a better presentation, of course, go ahead. But I think it's a start. I think we need to do a lot more work. You see, discussing for us now, those of us who are in this struggle, we need to look beyond. We need to look beyond the problems we face, and we need to come up with solutions. This is part of a solution. The solution is to enlighten our people, raise the awareness in our community using their own language. When they read the language and they understand what it means, it changes their thought process. Their reaction to what they read will mean that they start engaging their governance. And this is what we need our people to know, because our people are so afraid of the laws. But the laws should be written for and to serve the people. But people don't even know what is contained within their laws. And that is what we need to change. So I've written that. And I'm hoping that we can use that as a way to really bring our people on board and to open our mind. And keep in mind, I want us to begin to really preach this message here. And I think I'll do that again. I'm going to do this section in Yoruba as well. I'll translate it. I've done another translation. Let me quickly go and show you the other translation I've done as well. So I've done another translation as well. I've done one. So here's the other one I did. Here's the other one I did briefly. I'm not going to necessarily. You can go and listen to that again now here. So here is the translation of the Constitution. So again, the beginning, I started from here. Let me show you what I've started from. I started from here. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing so that we can begin to. I started right at the foundation. So let me show you. It'll come up in a minute. It's taking some time. I'm not going to translate all of this, but this is the one I want you to understand. Right here. So I translated here with the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if you go and look at this one here, so it says here, Nigeria ọdún 1999, àwa ará àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ Nigeria níwọ̀n bá bí a ti pinnu. So again, it talks about there, àwa ará àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ Nigeria níwọ̀n bá bí a ti pinnu láti gbé ní ìṣọ̀kan. I'll translate that for you. We, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having family and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony. So, and so on and so forth. So what I'm doing is, line by line, doing that translation in Yoruba. Not only translating it on the picture as you can see on here, but also reading it as well. So this giving people the information, because we are lacking that information. The information is the most important piece of the puzzle for us. Without this information, getting down to the local government area, our people will not take the steps they need to take collectively to free themselves by way of the referendum, because they don't understand what is happening. But in our languages, speaking our local languages to them at the very foundation, we can begin to wake them up, so they can be confident in going for Yoruba Nation, in Biafra Nation, and Middle Belt, and so on and so forth. They will be confident. They will know why they are going for it. It's one thing to tell people, yes, it's Yoruba Nation now, and they say Yoruba Nation now, but if you ask them why, they don't understand why. Reading this document, it will expose the flaws that many of us has all too often seen, and that is why we are advocating for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, and Middle Belt. So it is important that they have to see and be able to reason with exactly the way we reason, to come to the same conclusion, which is that the only option left for us is to go for Yoruba Nation and Middle Belt. I hope by me explaining this, it explains what I'm talking about. Let me have a little interlude. I'm going to have a bit of drink to sort of quench my thirst. I'm a bit dry, so my mouth is dry.
Season go they suffer? How long? How long? How long?
How long?
How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh. Now so my people, we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up for our rights oh. Stand up for our rights oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up oh. For our rights oh. For self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man come tell you now say una get constitution. No be lie, na lie, oh, na fake, na fraud, oh. That yeah constitution. Now him that they claim close to na high, yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Oh. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination oh, na your right oh. My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination na your right oh. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people, for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey oh. Atiku, Emiloko, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Not the solution, now it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Time down now, baga, the Yoruba man, you be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination na your right you. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. Ra 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 oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, thank you for watching the track. I hope you listening to that song. I wanted to have a bit of a break because I've been speaking for a time. Needed to keep my voice, to protect the voice. Sometimes you talk for so long. The song that you just listened to is How Long. It's a track I wrote. It's talking about our concerns. It's in pidgin English, deliberately so that as many of us can understand that we need to take steps. How long are we going to suffer? We're asking a question and we're showing the problems. And of course, we are coming up with solutions. The solutions is that we need to work together to free ourselves from that contraption called Nigeria. So if you do like the song, please go down to iTunes and Spotify and download it, and share it. And if the message resonates with you, please download it and of course share it. It is currently available on iTunes and Spotify, and I will share the link on it. That's for the that is on Citizen AY on YouTube. Although I'm currently blocked, you can still listen to it, and I'll see if I can actually, if you will share it again on the Citizen AY backup channel as well. I'll put it on there so that you can actually help us to grow that platform also. So I hope you find that beneficial. So let's go back to the main issue again now. So I put a poll up just now. I don't know if you've seen the poll. Those of you who have seen it, again, it is talking about the need for us to understand that we must translate the Constitution as it currently stands for our people to be able to understand what they are being governed by. And if you support that, yes or no, it's on Facebook. Just say yes, and support that. Go and fill that poll and share it among people as well, because we need our people to really understand that those are the kind of things. Our people don't understand the laws that they're being governed by. They know, our people know more about the Bible and the Quran than they know of this fraudulent 1999 Constitution. They don't know they don't know that the Constitution contains things that is oppressing them. I did a section 20 whereby I showed some things whereby the underage marriage is allowed within the Constitution of Nigeria, and these are kind of things that we should not accept. That people don't know those kind of things. I want Yoruba Nation, Adam Freeman. I want Yoruba Nation 100%, absolutely. And believe you me, you may not be apparent from the way I'm speaking about this, but our people need to know what they are being governed by. We have to meet the people where they are. So I hope that you can call in, Adam Freeman. If you want to call in, you can call in on +44 7399 580 606. And I'm happy to explain further my reasoning. You see, I like dialogue. I want to have discussions with people, particularly those who don't see the same things that I see. My vision and my focus is Yoruba Nation 100%, and I'm absolutely certain that by going and taking the time to explain the current constitution to our people, particularly in their own languages, they will understand and see the flaws in the same constitution that I see, and they will happily now go forward. And in fact, they will champion it within their community to say this constitution is wrong because X, Y, and Z, and they will point it out to their own people. What we are currently doing is, many of us who see the flaws, we talk about it, but our people don't understand. We are talking about it as an English. We understand English. We know what it means and all that. We need to translate it just like I've done here. So if you do want to call in, my brother, I of course welcome you to call in, Adam Freeman, Mr. Freeman. Let me just check the name again, just to make sure. So I'm not here to. It's not about attacking. This is a problem that's affecting all of us collectively, and we all have a voice to hear. And the fact that we have a difference of opinion does not mean I respect you any less. No way. I respect everyone's opinion and your views. And if you see it that way, if you see it differently, please explain how you see it. And if you have suggestions as to to go forward, please bring it forward. Right now, many of us, we've come the situation that we're in now. The election is a stumbling block designed to distract us from the main topic, which is the Constitution. They are doing everything in their power to keep that Constitution intact. And the quicker we realize that collectively, the better. We need to recognize that that's what they're trying to do. So please join me, help us, in continuing to raise that level of awareness within our community. Again, we'll go back to the Constitution. The most important part is that people need to understand that participation in governance is different from voting at elections. Voting is not a participation in governance. It's just an exercise. That is just an exercise in what you would call a normal democracy. You just vote for who you want. But that does not, the second part of it, the most important part is the participation. And that means that we need to encourage our people to start thinking on the community level. Every community must come together. No one person can go and solve the problem. The community must come together, go and begin to start pestering your local government chairman, your local councillor, your House of Assembly, your governors, go into their buildings. The buildings, all of the buildings that they own, the House of Assembly, the local councillor, the National Assembly, the governor's residents, all of the official government buildings are paid for by your money. They are paid for by your money. Each local government area contributes to the money used to building that building. And you have the right, by so doing, of holding those they elect into office to serve you in those buildings, to answer your questions, to give you what you need in your community. But you need to do it as a collective. And that is the mindset we need to change. And that is why the information is so important, to speak to our people, to translate into the language they understand, so they can take the steps they need to take. Right now, our people, like I said, if you put the Bible before our people, they can quote verses in the Bible upon verses, sections upon sections, and they can people know Bible off head. But many of the people who are telling you they see visions and everything, come and ask them to tell you what it says in the Constitution. They have no idea. Our children should know the Constitution right now. And I'm not saying this because I believe in the Constitution, but that is what we are being governed by right now. So you're not being governed by the election. You are being governed by this fraudulent Constitution. Let me say that again slowly. You are not currently being governed by the election that you are fighting, that they want you to fight over. You are being governed by this Constitution, this fraudulent Constitution here. You're being governed by it. Let me just see. Is that no, this one. So let's go back to the beginning of that. I want to just show you. Yeah. So you're being governed by this. This is what you are being governed by. And the quicker we can get our people to really understand that, So I don't want Yoruba. I want Yoruba Nation. Of course, I want Yoruba Nation. So Adam Freeman, I hope that answers your question. But if you want further clarification, yes. Hello, caller. Yes, go ahead. Hello. Ekaso. How are you? I'm live right now. Mo live right. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ìdìbò. Mo ṣe live program lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé ìdìbò ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní Sita South tó ń bọ̀ yìí. I'm on tàn yín ni. So I'm trying to explain to people that we shouldn't fall for the lie. But anyway, have you been watching me? I shouldn't with me live. Okay, he's not live. Okay, he doesn't want to talk to me now, right? He wants to. I thought he was watching this live. So someone just called in, but they don't want to talk live. That's okay. So do beg your pardon. I will switch between languages. If the person is speaking in Yoruba, I will speak in Yoruba. Or if he's pidgin, I will do that. Equally. Imasion Osaibovo, good afternoon, welcome on board. I hope you find this illuminating. We are here discussing about the Constitution. Let me just give you the topic again for those of you who are just joining us. So here is it. Here's the topic. It says, it matters not who runs Eko, Lagos, Yoruba or Igbo. It matters not. And I tell you the reason why it matters not is that this Constitution here is the most important document that we should all be aware of. That Constitution is what is being used to govern us. The person who they elect, whoever they elect, will have to run to preside over you using this fraudulent 1999 Constitution. And there are flaws within that Constitution that is preventing us from going forward. It is better for our people to know those flaws. It is better for them to understand it. So let me go to page 15. Let me go to page 15. I'm saying number 10. So page 15. No, page 20. Sorry, 20. Let me see if that comes up. 1 second. Okay, I know it's 17 then. It's going to be 17, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me see. No, maybe it's 29. I want to just show you something here. Yeah. Section 29. I want you to look at this. I'm going to probably translate it in Yoruba again. You see, any constitution that has this in it is clearly a wrong constitution. Section 29(4). I'm giving examples of why we must change, we must go for Yoruba Nation. Any constitution that allows for underage women, children, to be deemed to be full age, to be 18 years old, is not a constitution we want to be part of. It means that they can marry 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 11-year-old, but once they are married, they are deemed to be what? 18 years old, and they can be voting in elections. That is a fraud right there. Just one example. That's just one example I pulled out of the Constitution. And these are the kind of things I want to bring to our people. Now, I'm going to quickly say that in Yoruba. Fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ tí ẹ̀ ń bá wa sọ èdè Yorùbá, ṣé rí òfin tí mo fi hàn yín, ara tí mo fẹ́ kí ẹ fi kúrò, pé ká sọwọ́pọ̀ ká kúrò nínú ìlú amúnisìn náà ń pè Nàìjíríà, òun la fi hàn yín. òfin yìí ó wà lábẹ́ òfin ìkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n òfin òfin ìkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n nínú ìwé òfin ẹsẹ̀ 4 nínú òfin wọn yẹn wọ́n kọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé nítorí náà àwọn tí wọ́n bá ti jẹ́ méjìdínlógún àti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ni wọ́n ṣe òfin yẹn fún. Àmọ́ wọ́n á kọ sábẹ́ wọ́n ní pé obìnrin tí ó bá ti gbéyàwó wọ́n máa kà wọ́n kún gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ méjìdínlógún. Ìtumọ̀ yẹn ni pé nínú ìwé òfin o wọ́n fún àwọn tó máa lọ gbé ọmọdún méje ọmọdún mẹ́jọ tó máa mú tipátipá kó sọ di ìyàwó, wọ́n fún wọn ní agbára pé nínú ìwé òfin pé wọ́n lè sọ wọ́n di ìyàwó. Tó máa lè wá di ìyàwó wọ́n máa kà wọ́n kún gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọdún méjìdínlógún tí wọ́n mi yẹ yín tó dẹ̀ lè dìbò. Ara tí àwọn àṣírí ta fẹ́ máa tú jáde fún yín yẹn kó lè yé yín pé ìwé òfin rọ ni. Ara nǹkan tó yẹ kí gbogbo wa mọ̀ kí a lè gbégbèsè ká lọ fún Yorùbá Nation wa, àpẹẹrẹ ni mo fi hàn yín. So basically, I just explained the same thing I've explained to you now in English, in Yoruba, for our people to understand the things and why we have to go for Yoruba Nation. These are the kind of things we need to explain in critical and important detail. So you can cut this part out and explain it to our people. Why we are saying that the Constitution is a fraud. It is an imposition. It is a promulgation decree. I've talked about the fact that, let me just go back to that again, that what you see before you here is a promulgation decree. And above all, this is daylight robbery. For someone to say that the decree may be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Decree 1999, is bare-faced fraud. And it's a fraud that we should not be in any way, shape or form be supporting. We should not be supporting it. We should be actively against it. And I'm saying that categorically. That is one of the reasons, my central reason of why I'm saying that Yoruba Nation is the only solution as far as I am concerned, the way I see it. We must explain it to our people. We must take that time to explain this. Don't fall for the lie. Don't fall for the lie. You know, there are so many things that are happening. Native doctor storms bank, you know, naira scarcity. There are so many. The native doctor goes to the bank. Let me read that to you. I'll see if I can read it in a different way. I'm going to try and find a way to read this to you. I'm going to try and pick sections of it to show you. So right now, as I'm speaking to you now, a native doctor stormed the bank. I'll read it to you and I'll see if I can show you. I don't want to show I might show a picture. In the photo which emerged on Tuesday, native doctor was clad in red wrapper with a snake-like object around his neck. A tweep who shared the photo, customers at one Asset Bank branch were surprised to see a native doctor in the bank trying to perform some magic so that he can enter inside the bank, but he failed. So this is what I'm saying. These are things that is happening because of the failure of governance. That is just one example. I'll see if I can screen grab that picture. In fact, I'll just show you quickly. See if I can save that image. So you will see it come up in a minute. And these are the reasons why we need to explain to our people that the current constitution that we're under is a fraud, and they need to understand that we need to go for self-determination. 1 minute. So I hope I'm clear in what I'm been explaining to you. I am not saying I am for Yoruba Nation 100%, and by that means, so you can understand, once I tell you that I'm for Yoruba Nation, it means that I'm prepared. I'm saying to you that Yoruba land must belong to Yoruba people. End of story. It must. And likewise, Biafran land must belong to Biafrans. End of story. So everything else that they talk about now, trying to get you to fight each other, is a non-starter. The election is a fraud that is not going to change the constitution. And those are the kind of things that I stand upon, of course. So let me just quickly go into that section and bring you what I was going to bring you as we're talking about things. So I'm just bringing you more and more information for you to understand why. There you go. You're going to see the picture coming up now. So he's trying to access the bank. You see that? He's bringing that's the level of the institution that is trying to access it. Access Bank. Praying with something that's a snake on his neck and holding something to try and access it. Now he didn't get access, but that's desperation for you. That's a failure of governance. a failure of governance. Everything we're showing you here is to make you understand that the system has failed us all collectively. And until we take collective action by what I've just expressly told you, number one, the sovereignty must be exercised collectively. We need the collective exercising of our sovereignty within our local community, going together, having committees, committee for roads, committee for light, committee for water, committee for schools, committee for hospitals, healthcare, committee, and so on and so forth, committee for public facilities in each of the community. Working together, they must have at least 2 or 3 people on each of the committees so that they can walk around with the councillors in the area. This is failing. Our roads are bad. When are you going to fix it? Date, time. Start exercising that right. That is when you participate in your governance. We need to break down the laws so that people understand it in their local languages, translating it in our local languages. That is what we're trying to encourage here. This man here, the system has failed him. It's failed him because he's desperate for money. He's now using native medicine to try and access the funds that he has. That problem is not being solved by the election. That problem is not being solved by any election. No election is going to solve that, because the system is oppressing us collectively. Whether you're Yoruba or Igbo or Middle Belt, it is equally oppressing us. And that system is what must be dismantled. I maintain that. So anyway, so let's go back again. So the key thing I want you to understand is to have a decree that the military imposed on us as a document. They cite it, and those who are in power now are telling us to comply by that same decree that we never ever signed up to. And that is why a referendum is a must. These are the things why, by explaining this to our people, they will now understand that we need a referendum, because the document that is currently being used to preside over us is a fraud. And that is what we need to explain to our people. And I'm hoping that by explaining this, people can begin to understand. Chidi Mpamogo, thank you very much for joining us on Facebook. Please do share the broadcast as you're watching it. We're here to enlighten and awaken. Don't fall for the lie. When they tell you, oh, it's an Igbo person, don't allow an Igbo person. That's all a ruse. You are falling for their trick. You are believing, they're reducing your level of thinking into a sort of minute thing to become tribal in your thinking. You need to be thinking of what has been used by imposed on you. You did not, none of us signed up to this promulgation decree in 1999. None of us signed up to it. And yet it's being used to rule over us. This is of a much more importance to us to work together to confront than to be talking about one land here, one land there. Again, I ask a question. How many Lagosians protested at the fact that Dangote refinery is being created in Lagos? Why not call it Lagos the refinery? Because it is taking a huge mass of land from Lagos. Why not? And we need to, how much was paid for that land? Whose money was used to pay for it? These are the questions you're not asking. But when we talk about things on a level where, for you to understand that the game is being played, many seem to think that we're just talking nonsense. But that's not. I hope that we're trying to awaken you. These are laws that are wrong for you, against us. Let me go to section 78, page 87. 65. Let me go 65. I want to show you page 65. Is this 65? 65. Sorry, 1 second. No, 58. 58, I think it is. Let me check. 58. Give me a minute, please. I'm just trying to find something for you to make you understand. These are things that are being used to unjustly impoverishing your own land. And we're trying to wake you up to hopefully see that that is really the kind of things we need to focus on. These are the kind of information we'll be sharing among ourselves to awaken our people. I'm going to translate it again. I'll translate it to Yoruba, and I might even do it whilst I'm on air here. So, because I want you to understand what has been done. In fact, I'm going to do that as I speak to you on air, because I need you to understand what has been done. Oh, no, that's not it, actually. Sorry. 47. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is. 72. Give me a minute, please. Give me a minute. I'm going to just quickly show you what that... Yeah. Okay, shadows. There we go. That's it. Page 75. Sorry about that. So I'm going to quickly do something here. I'm going to just type this one here. Section 39. Section 39 of the Constitution. I want to do that in Yoruba and just show briefly, that one there. The exclusive list means that the local government areas, the state government, all of that is on the exclusive list. That means that your local government area will have no access to the resources in that area. The federal government will take it. Section 39 talks about here, exclusive legislative list. What it means that exclusive legislative list restricts your people, you in the local government area. You will not get access to that fund first. And you're going to be, you will not, you will not be able to improve your lives. And your economy will not be put forward. Your state government cannot take action because of that law, because of the 68 exclusive list, the 68 items on the exclusive list, which includes mines, minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas. Anything that is found in your local area is no longer yours. The government, they would then say, they give you a 3% derivative of your own resource, which could have improved your community right then. And that is why we are talking about the also within the current law. Another thing I want to bring to your attention. So let's go back to this one. I'm showing you lots of things. So let me. I'm going to translate this in Yoruba as well as I'm talking. Ejo, Sherry Kenita Woyi, exclusive legislative list. Nínú ìwé òfin àpapọ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní ìwé òfin wà. Nínú òfin, àwọn òfin ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n fi ń gbé ẹsẹ̀ lé nǹkan àwọn àlùmọ́nì wa ní àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Wọ́n ń gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé àwọn àlùmọ́nì wa. Àpẹẹrẹ ìyẹn fi hàn yín. Ní báyìí, ní ìkàndínlógójì, nǹkan tó ń pè ní mines, àwọn ibì kan tẹ́ pé ẹ máa rí àwọn àlùmọ́nì wa, minerals, àwọn ibi tí wọ́n ti ń rí epo, tó ti ń rí àwọn tó fi ń ta fi ṣe gas tí ó máa ń gbá láti nínú lẹ́lẹ̀ àtàwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Tí wọ́n bá ti rí ládùúgbò yín, wọ́n fi àṣẹ tí wọ́n fúnra wọn yìí, wọ́n fi gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ládùúgbò yẹn ẹ ní rí àǹfààní yẹn lò torí pé wọ́n ti gbé lọ sí ìjọba àpapọ̀. Ara ta ṣe fẹ́ máa lọ òun là ń ṣàlàyé fún yín nísìnyí. A máa mẹ́nubà díẹ̀ exclusive legislative list. Máa tún wá ṣàlàyé lórí ẹ̀dá, máa tú palẹ̀, máa túmọ̀ ẹ̀ dáadáa láti òkè délẹ̀. Mo kàn fi ṣe àpẹẹrẹ ẹ̀sìn fún wa ni sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn yín. So basically what I'm just doing is translating that in Yoruba. I'm endeavoring to do this as much as I can because I recognize that many of us are not aware of these things, that we have to really begin to awaken our people at a whole group, a really fundamental level. Many people, like I said, if you put the Bible up, I say it again, if you put the Bible up for our people, they will tell you, quote, chapters and verses and likewise Quran. They know it. But how many pastors know of the Quran? How many pastors know what is within our constitution? How many imams know what is in our constitution? And if they knew it, how many of them know it? They don't. And that is why it is every community now. We should task every community to spread the knowledge of that constitution. Not because we believe in it, but because the people need to understand what they are being governed by to be able to participate and then begin to take steps to bring it down collectively. I'm sorry if I'm speaking in slow terms, but I need that to really be something that we have to understand collectively. And it is very important that these steps are taken. So when we talk about this, we are talking about it from a fundamental point of view. Something we need to change our mindset. Please do share this broadcast if it resonates with you. We are not here to try and give you, that we have the absolute knowledge of everything. We're the fountain of knowledge and everything else. No, but we are trying to engage our discussion, to broaden our discussion away from this politics of what the government is encouraging tribal politics to prevent us from. They are protecting this constitution that I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing flaws after flaws after flaws after flaws within this constitution. There are flaws after flaws after flaws within this constitution. And that is what we need to address. Until we take that step, nothing is going to change. Something is happening now. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I'm being attacked, I see. Okay, let me go back again. I'm going to bring that back again. I don't know what's going on. 1 second. Give me a minute. Okay.
Recording in progress.
No, we're going to re-record it. So we're back again. We're back.
Recording stopped.
Something happened there, but it doesn't matter. So I think they think I was not active, but I was active. So, and I have been active for some time. That just suddenly happened now. So let's put that back up there. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so we're back to where we were talking about things and discussing that. So what I'm hoping to do by discussions like this, please do share this broadcast. You owe it. If we are going to bring our people along to Yoruba Nation, to Biafra Nation, Middle Belt, then they need to understand what is within the current 1999 Constitution, which I view as a fraudulent document. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to put that there. I need to put that there as well, so that you understand that it's a fraud. 1 second, please. Let me just get that up. Let me bring that up. I want to just show you that. So please do share this broadcast. Don't fall for the okie doke. It's all a game. Don't believe in their lies. Don't play their game. Don't lose your life in their game. Because their game is to keep us divided, to make sure that we never focus on the same goal, which is to dismantle contraption 1990 Nigeria and its constitution. The constitution, as I'm showing you, is, of course, this constitution is a fraud. It is a fraud, and I will just keep reminding you, this constitution, this is the face of it. Behind it, they hid this. They try to hide this document. This is a fraud that we must dismantle collectively together. We need our people. We cannot do it individually. We need our communities to understand that this fraud is what is being used to govern them. We need to explain that to our people in the language they understand, local languages. I need you all to support us in the struggle for this. Whatever you can do to support Citizen AY in raising that awareness and begin to teach our people to know. Because it's for them to take the steps to go and to come and join us in the struggle for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt. They need to know what is contained within this fraudulent constitution, which is impoverishing their lives on a daily basis. Once they know that, they are going to be more willing to join us in the struggle. And that is what this is about. I hope we can understand that. I hope we can begin to, share that knowledge and reach our people at a fundamental level, because that's very, very important. So let's crack on a bit more. So we're going to go and all of that. And our history is of immense importance in this struggle. Like I said, never forget. They even said here that what is more shocking, I translated it. They talked about that, where if it's necessary for them to print it out, they can omit parts of this decree from the schedule. So this decree they omit parts of it. So let me show you what I mean by that. I don't think in the new ones they printed, you won't find this decree in the Constitution. So let me just quickly go into it and show what I mean briefly. So let's go back here. Not that one. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, so 75. So let's go to the top of this page now and see if it shows that document. So you will see now, when we go on here, they deliberately omitted, from what I can see here, and maybe on the older ones they've got them, but in the new ones they have definitely omitted to put the promulgation decree as stated. Let me see, definition, concept, territory, Abuja, third house. I'm trying to see if I can show you. So there is no, okay, so now, so chapter 1. So you can see now, it talks about omitting this particular part of it says here, wherever it may have to be necessary for the Constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree apart from the schedule, and the Constitution as so printed shall have the force of law notwithstanding omission. So they gave themselves the power to omit this decree, so people will not see that it's an actual decree. Instead, they see it as what you see on the front of the book, as a constitution. These are lies that people need to understand, and we need to explain it in our local languages. And I explained that in our local language in the video I did. So we need to do more of this. These are the kind of things that hopefully many of us should engage in. I hope many of you are seeing this as things that are of immense importance that we need to talk about. So I'm here to really make sure that we do not misunderstand or misconstrue things. These are steps that must be taken collectively. We need to engender that collective community spirit. And it's been expressed in how people went to vote. People organize themselves, vote for this person. When they talked about different, different demographics. We need to vote because we need to get them in. But I said from the beginning that the elections is not going to solve the problem of the constitution. And I maintain that the constitution is something that we collectively, from one community to the next, will have to collectively work together to solve. So we need to engage every community. We want them to have a copy of this constitution in their languages. I'm going to do my level best to actually bring that about. We've already started now by translating it word by word, and we will translate it, and then we'll do a pamphlet whereby we can put it as a PDF and share it from every community, because that's what we need to do. Certainly in the Yoruba community, that is the goal. We need to share it so people understand what is in that constitution. I know it's almost like I'm belaboring the same point, but it is a point that has to be driven home, because many of us have been too easily distracted by the lies, and that is that is what we have got to really work together to solve. I hope it's making some kind of sense as we're talking about it. But of course, the Saturday coming now, what I want you to think about is that Saturday election, whoever you vote for, is not going to solve the fundamental issue of the fraudulent 1999 constitution. It's not going to solve it. It's not going to solve it at all. If anything, it's going to make it worse. And that's what I want us all to really understand as we're talking about this. We need to really make sure that we communicate with our people. Yeah, I'm glad, that roads and everything else, whatever they're doing. Like I said to you at the beginning, it doesn't matter if it is Peter Obi, if it's Tinubu, if it's Atiku, whoever is in that constitution is a noose around our collective necks, and we need to free ourselves from it. So let's crack on a little bit more, if I can. I want to try and show you. Please, I want to reiterate this point again. Sovereignty in Yoruba, àṣẹ ìlú, a fún àwọn tí a yàn sípò àwọn ìjọba ní àṣẹ ìlú láti darí gbogbo ìlú pẹ̀lú àṣẹ lọ́wọ́ àwa ọmọ ìlú. Òun náà ń pè ní sovereignty. Tọ́rọ̀ mi yé yín. A máa mú yẹn sí ọwọ́ kan. Ìyẹn la máa lò fún àwọn gbogbo àdúgbò wa, ká mọ̀ pé gbogbo àdúgbò tá bá dúró papọ̀, ìyẹn ó túmọ̀ sí pé a ní àṣẹ láti béèrè fún, láti gba tún àwọn àdúgbò wa ṣe pẹ̀lú àṣẹ yẹn. Torí àwọn àṣẹ agbègbè sí agbègbè ni wọ́n papọ̀ tó wọ́n á gbé fún, wọ́n yá ìjọba àpapọ̀ kó máa fi darí wa. Àṣẹ yẹn ni. Tẹ́ bá mú lò pé ẹ fẹ́ lò ó ládùúgbò yín, pé ẹ fẹ́ kí wọ́n tún títì ṣe, ẹ láti dúró papọ̀. Tẹ́ bá ti dúró papọ̀, ẹ wá fi ìkópa, participation náà ń pè ní ìkópa. Eléyìí ìkejì yìí mo kàn fẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún wa náà ni mo fi gbìyànjú láti fi ṣàlàyé. Ṣẹlẹ̀ participation, eléyìí náà ń pè ní ìkópa, kéèyàn kópa nínú ìjọba. Láti kópa nínú ìjọba, ẹ máa bi wọ́n ní ìbéèrè pé àwa ta dúró yìí o, àwa ta ní àṣẹ lórí àdúgbò yìí o, àṣẹ tí àṣẹ wa à ń fi àṣẹ yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ sí ẹni pé iná wa ládùúgbò yìí, ẹ̀yin lẹ gba ẹ̀yà àṣẹ wa lò, a dẹ̀ wá sọ pé àṣẹ yẹn o, iná, omi, títì, ọ̀nà ládùúgbò wa o, ẹ máa tún ṣe sẹ́ẹ̀. Àṣẹ la fi ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ láti ṣe ìtafẹ́. So ìyẹn la máa kó papọ̀ tá máa fi gba tá máa ṣe. Tọ́rọ̀ mi yé yín. So I'm just explaining that briefly to our people in our local languages. People can I'll try and cut sections of that up myself and actually begin to put that together. I'm going to cut this section out and share it out, because we need little bites like that for our people to understand that they have that power to really begin to make effective change. Even though we know that we're going for Yoruba Nation, and we're trying to break up the fraud, those are the kind of things that we cannot ignore. I'm not saying for us to ignore what is being done to create the division and trying to sort of say, just to try and make sure that we don't look at that. But I'm saying that the main focus is this: whatever you do in this election, you've seen it in the election that they voted just not even a week. Beavers was not working deliberately because they did not want the results transmitted. Those results must be transmitted. The same thing. So are you saying to me the same thing will not happen? The people who are telling you to fight each other, they're trying to make sure that you fight each other long enough, and they want that result. So they have to, as far as I see it, those in control now, the APC government, they have two options. They either make you fight yourselves, and then you hate yourselves, and then those of you that were thinking of voting for Labour Party, you vote for APC. If the result favors them, guess what? they will put it out. If it doesn't favor them, they are in so much control, they will rig it and they will make it. Either way, your vote doesn't count. They've done sections where they've cancelled out the names of people, of the names of parties that people voted for, and put the names of their own. So what are we talking about? So don't fall for the okie doke is what I am saying. I hope people understand that. It is really important. We stand together, yes. But I'm telling you, the most important thing is this, to understand that this constitution is the biggest problem that we collectively face. And it must be confronted collectively, community by community. It must be confronted collectively from one community to the next, like that. And we need to encourage them in our local languages, so that every place that they go, every community must have a copy of the constitution in their language. And I will endeavor to do something to share, and I'll try and make sure we share it to people, so that people can begin to really take action. Certainly, we may not be able to do all of it, but we'll be doing the key parts of it that you need to know, just enough for you to make sure that it wakes the people up to start saying, right, okay, you know what, we see what you've done to us, you've lied to us long enough. The church and the mosque, yes, we go on our own time, but to get the roads and to get the water, the church and the mosque, they are not the place. In fact, anybody depending on the church or the mosque for information, you are just being deceived. You are just being deceived, because they're not part of this. They are part of the problem. They are not part of the solution. The solution lies in understanding what is in that constitution and how you can use the little powers that you have within that constitution to get them to maximize the benefit for your community. Benefits in terms of water, light, road, schools, bridges, healthcare, hospital, safety, security, and so on and so forth for your community. Important word, collective effort. It has to be a collective effort, and that's what we maintain, and that's why we're here talking about this on the program. And I hope this resonates with you. I hope you find this beneficial. I want us all to continue to engage. Gabriel Liberty, thank you very much again for joining us. I want us to engage in this process. I want us to really begin to share this message. I've put a poll up. I think I did earlier on, where it talks about do you support the poll to allow our people to be able to have the constitution as it stands in our current in the current nation, to translate it so that people understand what they are being governed by. It is immense importance. If they don't understand what they're being governed by, then they will be sort of thinking, oh, okay, I don't understand, and they will not be able to question them or hold them to account. So sorry. Okay, let me just put that up again. Let me try again. Paste. Okay, it's not gone there. Okay, let me just do that again. I did create a poll, didn't I? Let me just see if it published the poll. Let me see. Okay. No, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Okay, let me just put that here. Let me put it here quickly now. So, 1 second. I'm going to ask that question again. So, do you support the translation of the current? So just give me a minute. Current 1999 Constitution. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. So pardon. Current 1999 Constitution. I know Facebook are limiting my numbers. That's okay. Do share the broadcast, and I know there's more people who are reaching. We have over 100,000 followers, but Facebook are deciding to bring it down, to reduce it. Current 1999 Constitution into our local languages. To enable our indigenous people to understand the laws that they're currently being governed by. They are currently being governed by. Now, please keep in mind, what we're saying here is to achieve Yoruba Nation, we need the people to be enlightened, to be aware. That's what we're trying to do in every broadcast that we make. In all of our broadcasts is all aimed at ensuring that the people are actively engaged and they understand what they are being governed by, so that they can make a collective decision together, and that way they are more likely to join us in going confidently forwards towards self-determination. And that's what we're trying to really bring about, you know. So create the poll. Okay, hold on. What's not working? Edit poll. Yeah, sorry. Second. I wanted to check it. I don't want that. Paste. Okay. Create poll. I'm hoping it works. But anyway, something is wrong here. I'm not quite sure. It's not bringing the poll up. It should do. Let me try it one more time. I'll try it one more time. Yeah, I'll just try it one more time. I just want to put the poll up there before I round up here. Like I said, the game that they're playing is not a game you want to get involved in, to be honest with you. I hope it works. And I can take away. Okay. Okay, it's active. So I've got it now. Sorry, got it now. So you should be able to see the poll. Do you support the translation of current 1999 Constitution into our local languages to enable our indigenous people to understand? Edit poll. A minute. Just a minute. Understand. Okay, so the laws they are currently being governed by. Sorry. Okay. So give me a minute, please. I'm just trying to just check this up. Copy, save. Okay. So that's it. Yes. No. 1 minute. I'm going to take away that one. Take away that one. Take away that one. Save. Okay. Activate poll. I'm trying to take away some things then. I hope it works. Take away that. Take away that. Take away that. Take away that. Okay. Anyway, so so I hope that gives us some insight into the discussions. Of course, at the beginning of the discussion, they just to recap for those of you who are talking about things. We were looking at it matters not who runs Eko or Lagos, Yorubas, Igbos. The key issue remains the constitution being used to run you, and the only way you can change the situation long term is through active participation in your governance to ultimately achieve Yoruba Nation. The reason why we are talking about that is that to be able to change and go for Yoruba Nation, you need to understand what you're being governed by. Once you understand what is being governed by, and you now see it's a fraud, the people within the communities will be the ones who will be leading the charge to go for self-determination. They must lead this. We can provide the support, we can encourage them, we can direct them to a certain extent, but once they are actively involved, and that is why the translation to our languages is of immense importance. So we've started the process now. We will continue, and I will be doing that on a daily basis until we get to that point where we have a proper publication that we can put before the people in each community and say, right, okay, here is what the rules are as they are. You can use that as a way to explain to our local people, and they can do it in translate. And once they are reading in their language, That is the most important part of it. They can make those changes and they can join us in the struggle, because we need more of us to be able to achieve Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, and Middle Belt. And it's by understanding the current flawed constitution that they can enable them to go forward and demand for a referendum. A referendum is what we are after. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I want to thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. I hope you found it useful. I'm going to try and see if I can do this broadcast maybe in English, in Yoruba tomorrow, but I will continue to translate. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. If you can translate in Igbo, go ahead and do it. If you can translate in Yoruba, go ahead and do it. If you can whatever language, go ahead and do it. Because in the end, what matters not is who did the translation. What matters the most is that the people collectively benefit and begin to take collective action. We haven't got time to waste. So I'm here to urge you all. Let us continue on the struggle. We need to wake our people up. The work that we must do is we must not relent. We need to focus like a laser beam and achieve that common goal. I am, of course, Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please go ahead and subscribe to us on Citizen AY backup channel. Currently, Citizen AY is being blocked for 3 months by Facebook and by YouTube. Surprise, surprise, during the elections and all that. We understand what the game is, but we're not interested in or afraid of that. We will continue to speak our truth to power. We're not lying or holding anything back. We're just trying to make sure that people have the right information to make informed decisions. Please don't fall for the trick of, oh, you Lagos must vote for this one. Don't vote for a crime. Don't vote for those who are oppressing you. If your oppressor is just like yourself, doesn't make it easier because they are not like somebody else. They are both oppressing. The key thing is they are both oppressing, and we need to understand that the game that's being played is not even. That's why I said voting is a waste of your energy. At this point, the voting will not change the current constitution that I show you. The key things I'm showing you are the areas you need to understand. I'm trying to see if I can do this. Don't keep that there, and let me try and do this. So these areas I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on those areas. Section 14.2a and c. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government through this constitution derives all its powers and authority. And secondly, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution, which means that you have the power to hold your governors to account. So you need sovereignty and participation. Those two combined, we can begin to make the changes. Right now, you don't even have to wait for the elections. The elections is already decided. They decide who is going to be the president, who is going to be the governor. They decide. You don't make that decision. Your votes do not make that decision. You need to understand that. Your vote do not make that decision. The quicker we understand that, the quicker we can begin to hold those people to account and making sure that whoever is elected, they do our bidding, because sovereignty belongs to us. Since we know that the system is rigged, we need to encourage our people to know these are the key steps. Those two things I'm showing you here, those are the most important piece of information that our people need to understand, and hopefully we can then share that to our people. So please do share this podcast. Help people to understand that they have the power within their local community to take collective action. It requires collective action. It is no longer about one individual. It's a collective action. So thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. We truly appreciate your support. Let me just see what's going on here. I'm just going to go in there inside. So I'm going to try and make sure I get it okay. So now, please, of course, we do have the star. If you do want to give us a star, we appreciate that. Anything to do to help support us. But above all, we are urging everybody, please let us begin to make sure that this current constitution, we need to have it translated to our people so they understand. That way they can join us in the struggle for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt. We have to meet them where they are, begin to communicate with them where they are, to empower them from there. Because once they have a fan base and they can make decisions on their own, they are more powerful. They can then join us in the struggle. Their voices will be collectively more stronger. The more we help to let our community by community to know the constitutional laws that they can use and how they can use it. That's the area we must focus on, because the election will not change the constitution. It's when the people get engaged and get involved that constitution will be changed by way of a referendum, that the people themselves will demand for it. That is the key point that we need to get to. So thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What I'll do now, let us listen to that song one more time. And of course, you can download it on iTunes. And if it resonates with you, please do share it. Here we go.
Citizen AY. My people, I throw me salute. Hey, hey. Make it like yo. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh. Now so my people, we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up for right oh. Stand up for right oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up oh. For right oh. For self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, you. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man can't tell you now say una get constitution. No be lie. Now lie oh, na fake, na fraud oh. That yeah constitution. Now him that they claim close to my eye oh. Make una wake up, make una wake up oh. How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination oh, now you're right oh. My people, I want make una know say oh, self-determination now you're right oh. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey oh. Atiku, Emiloko, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Now the solution, now it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Time down now, baga, the Yoruba man, you be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination, now you're right you. How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long will I go Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. Ra, 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 oh.
So thank you so very much for listening. I'll leave the song on there. It's How Long Una Go to Suffer. If you want to download it, you can go down to iTunes and Spotify and download it there and share it. If it resonates with you, it's in pidgin English, like I stated. I hope you found it useful. And the words in it are really important. They are powerful words. And if you can, anything you do to help us in downloading it, that does help in us doing the work we're trying to do to raise the awareness within our community. So I want to thank you all so much for joining us. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY backup channel. Currently, Citizen AY, the channel itself is being blocked by YouTube, so we've had to create the backup channel. The pin is pinned on the platforms. Go ahead, just click on it and subscribe. Help us reach more and more people. Share. We will restream this on there at some point as well, because currently we're not able to stream on there at the minute, and we can restream. And we're not restream. We can re-record it on there later on. So we need to help us grow that platform until it reaches the point whereby it goes live as well automatically. We're using other platforms, sister platforms, the Duwati Radio 2, which you can also subscribe to as well. But I thank you all so much for taking the time to listen to me. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on to give you further updates. Please don't allow tribalism to divide you. The focus is one thing and one thing only, and that is how to bring down that fraudulent 1999 constitution that is going to impact our lives. Whatever we vote for, whoever you vote for will not make a change, because those who you vote for, they will have to swear on oath on the same constitution, and as soon as they swear on oath on the same constitution, you are going to be bound by the same constitution, and the same oppression will continue for the next 4 years. What we're saying is for you to be aware of it and know what is within the constitution, so that you can begin to take steps to break it down, to dismantle it, and go for referendum. That is the goal. Yoruba Nation is the goal. Biafra Nation is the goal. We must never relent. We use all means possible to make sure that our people are aware, so they can join us in the struggle collectively to achieve our ultimate goal of Yoruba Nation and Biafra Nation. Thank you for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm about later on. Thank you and bye for now. Bye. Bye for now.